To be fair, to be fair, I was 193 yesterday morning.
Cool.
And I'm eating
I don't know what
chocolate.
you were before, but that's awesome.
198. So.
Well, it fluctuates too. Like a lot of people.
It's gonna fluctuate, yeah.
I love whenever I'd eat dinner and go weigh myself. I'm like, oh, that's right. I just ate like 2 pounds of food.
Yep.
Ian's just like, I don't eat that much.
That's why I like to weigh myself after a workout.
When Kayla's story was done, I went live, so they've now heard about Zach being like 2% nacho at this point.
Yes! Welcome to Fools and Flagons, guys! I eat a lot, apparently!
Apparently.
Yay!
Oh.
I saw it. I've changed it.
Okay.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Fools and Flagons, where Zach is 2% nacho and the rest of us are disgusted. This is a tabletop campaign made up entirely by me, where the players do dumb things and I try to make sense of it. First off, Pez is not here. He's got the Rona. He's in chat for now.
He's with us in spirit.
He sounded absolutely fucking miserable.
I don't mean to interrupt, but you want to know the ad that's playing on our thing right now for me?
It's Cocaine Bear, isn't it?
It's Cocaine Bear.
Yep. It was Cocaine Bear when I went to check on it. I actually kind of want to see that movie.
I do kind of want to see Cocaine
I
Bear.
love you guys to death. I'm not seeing that movie. If you guys can go together.
It looks like it's going to be fucking hilarious.
It's based on a true story.
It is.
And I know it's based on a true story, and the true story is scarring. No, thank you.
Well, everything that I've heard from the documentaries and everything is that it's definitely a horror, but it's a comedy horror.
That
don't make it better for me.
Ah, well, you can be a little pansy on your own time. Anyway,
I'm a little bitch.
This campaign
I'm
is
a little bitch boy.
Live every other Friday on Twitch. If you would like to see our past adventures, you can check us out, our VODs on YouTube. Or if you prefer to listen to us, you have the podcast version, and that's on most major platforms such as iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, iHeartRadio, and so many more. We also have our third campaign starting, which is kind of a rehash of our first one in Storm King's Thunder, DM'd by that asshole below me. We had our first... No, you're like way the fuck down there.
I mean, Discord is me.
But that will be happening on the Fridays that we're not streaming this one. That one will also be coming out in podcast form as we're going along. Should have actually been out this morning, I believe. Mercs for Hire was the first one.
I'm very excited to see Martyr's reaction.
We'll see. Hopefully he's able to give us a listen. On top of that, we also have Pez Plays. That usually happens on Tuesdays. Don't know if we're going to get a Pez Plays this coming week just because of...
COVID.
Because of him having COVID. We may do a makeup stream. Someone be able to ban that guy from chat, one of my mods.
Trying.
Okay. We may do a makeup stream. Someone else may stream and do something in place of that. Whiskey Wednesdays is on a temporary hiatus. I don't, at the moment with how everything went down earlier this year, I don't particularly want to review D&D things at the moment. We are still looking at trying to do a wagon build from the Delver's Guide with the community and all of us and try to figure out what would be a cool thing to make out of that, but we're still getting that planned out. And then we've also got Metallurgy Magic. Usually happens on the weekends whenever he's got the time and the energy to do so. So, if you like what we do and you would like to support us, please consider donating to our Ko-fi page. It's coffee.com/fools&flagons. Donations are never required, but always appreciated, and all proceeds from donations and memberships go straight back into making Fools and Flagons an even better experience, and it really does help keep the podcast alive and well. We do definitely want to thank you for your follows, subscriptions, and bits on Twitch. We do apologize that we cannot recognize them verbally for the sake of not interrupting the story, but your support of us is always greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated. So, wow,
before we start, I got two things.
Is Sirenscape working?
Yes.
I actually had to send you another invite because things got a little fucky.
Yeah, sorry, new computer. So two things. One, I may start streaming. So if I do, now that I have a new computer, it's definitely worth doing. And anybody, we're trying to figure a name out for it. Super happy if anybody wants to join. And then two, just because we do stream games and we are huge nerds, I know a couple of us know about this, but one of my favorite groups had a death. His name is Stick44. His name's Tony. He's from Neebs Gaming, and I know that they'll probably never see this, but if they do, I know that Ian and I, or anybody else who watches it, our hearts go out to you guys. It sucks ass. And all hail the Wyvern King.
All hail the Wyvern King. Yes, sirree.
Yeah.
It was sad.
No more sad. Now D&D.
No more sad. we gotta carry on for thick. Damn it.
Let's go find a wyvern.
Where's my dragon? He's over there. Okay. So, anyone else have anything that they want to talk about before we go?
Kasumi needs invite.
Dare'nscape invites.
Dare'nscape invites.
I sent you the link on Discord.
Kasumi needs one.
Did I not? I thought you said that you got back in.
No.
Son of a bitch!
She lied!
No.
There, see if that works.
Okay, thanks.
I think what may need to happen is I may need to have another account for when I'm listening to Zeke's. Because when I joined his, that's when it seemed like everyone crapped out. Good thing I have multiple web viewers, so I can just be listening to his on like Firefox or something.
It
For people who
booted
can't
me.
see, this motherfucker's
I got
got
it.
like 5 screens, 2 books, a shitload of stuff. None of it that he needs, but just makes his life more convenient.
Speaking of which,
I'm gonna take a panorama just to say fuck you.
a panorama.
Oh crap, I can't panorama up. Fuck. I got like part of my like DM's notes over here is like cut off. Anyway, I'll post that later. So with that being said, if we're ready to go, grab your drinks and raise your glasses. It's time for Fools and Flagons. I about punched this off my desk.
I would have been so sad. Because I've been right on his computer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, did Chrisberg just cut me out? Damn it.
It always cuts you out, dude.
Oh.
Please tell me that's
God damn
not
it.
Brick's current voice.
Oh, don't worry. I held in my Knightly Kingdom anger. If that's his voice, I'll actually kill him.
I approve.
I'll
So,
pray to Valkyrie for
I got
divine smiting.
Griffin.
to get you all up to speed, the Tempests finally received an invitation to attend a dinner with the royal family of Harpermere. And thus, another day of shopping was had. The party spent another day exploring the capital city of Harpermere, buying clothes for everyone, even against their will, so that they could be presentable, even against their will. Vanera bought a young griffin, and Zaan a Shrimposaur from a vendor at the docks called Tiny Bites.
Lobster sore.
Huh?
Lobster sore.
No, I called it Shrimposaur.
God damn it. I'm gonna have to come up with a different name now.
This purchase potentially adding even more chaos to the Tempest's home. We are going to jump ahead a little bit. The day of the dinner has arrived. The outfits for Zaan and Brick are scheduled and had been delivered. So, with that being said, what adventures await the party? You have most of the day ahead of you. It is the day of the dinner. We can skip ahead to the dinner if you would like, but I wanted to give you guys some time if there was anything you wanted to do beforehand to get ready, or last few things before you go and...
Does Zaan look dapper?
Yes, so the outfits that were made for the two of them. Brick is in, much to Kasumi and Vanera's likely dismay, he is still within his Iron Leaf armor, but he does have a very nice shoulder cape. It kind of covers over the one arm, and so long as he doesn't flip it over, it will cover the arm all the way down to about midway through the wrist or the palm. But it is a perfectly matching shade of pink to the handkerchief that Vanera gave him so many weeks ago in I know it was in the desert.
It was the Oasis
So
town,
far
right?
away.
Yes.
It was the Oasis town.
Hang on. I want to get this right
Brick.
because I remember which one it is. I just don't remember. Shadow Hollow, I believe. Yes, it was Shadow Hollow that it was purchased.
Also, Zach, we can name him Popcorn. Popcorn Shrimposaur.
God, no.
Speaking-
no.
Speaking of Zaan, I didn't really know a great way to describe this, so I'm going to share the two reference images that I have for this, but it is very much a similar look to his sort of tribal home. A very, very nice leather trench coat with no arms, fur around the collar with the chain connected at 2 points, or two metal, I don't even know what they're called. Metal
Like
circlets, clasps with chain
Yeah.
between them, knee-high fur boots, furred bracers. I will
don't
share
wear
them
boots, though.
into the...
I have fuzzy feet.
He
Well,
goes
then
all
you
out
can
for his
just-
outfits,
I was gonna
okay?
say, you can just decide to say, fuck it, I'm not going to...
Damn, I'm a chick. I look hot.
hang on.
Honestly, Zach, I'm surprised you haven't rolled up a chick character yet for any of our D&D stuff.
So, kind of a happy mashup between those two outfits is the best that I was able to find via my research.
I think they both look great.
So, your outfits have arrived. You tried them on. They fit perfectly because, of course, you know, he's amazing at what he does. And by he,
Fucking
I
puts
mean,
OCD to a new level.
yeah, for real. And by he, I mean Sorrentino. So, the day is yours. Is there anything you all would like to do for the dinner?
Is there anything I want to do before the dinner?
Brick will be in the library reading.
Okay.
Kasumi would like to sit at her altar and try to communicate with Shinsei. And she is going to use the draconic rune casting.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, so she is gonna use. So it's in the morning, so she's gonna do like an estimate and probably do about like 10 bones or so.
Okay.
And this is for the omen casting. So
Okay.
she is going to try to get a perception on how the evening is going to go.
Okay.
So,
All right. So you have spent the time carving into the bones. You're sitting at your beautifully carved altar of Shensei, the dragon head peering down at you, seeming to stare into your very being as you light your little brazier, hold the bones, whisper your request, and drop them into the fire. And where you had been disappointed the last time and nothing really seemed to have happened, this time you see the runes on the bones flashing before the rest of them. They shake a little bit, crack, crumble, turn into ash. The smoke billows up and turns into a facsimile of Shensei, just moving fluidly, giving you a good sense, a pleasant sense. And it swims in the air before you for a while. And then the smoke violently puffs out as if the dragon is exploding. And you get a sense that there's some good and some bad
okay.
in the evening ahead of you.
Okay.
You
She's
did this
gonna
at your
kinda
little
sit with
altar,
them.
right?
Mhm.
Did you just see Zaan just peeking his head around, just watching? Little dude that he just bought between his ears, his head's also poking out around. It's just-
The little-
he happens to be there.
The little blue Shrimposaur is kind of
His name is Magnus.
So
just gnawing on a piece of hair. Just...
after the casting's done and when everything kind of explodes, she doesn't really take her eye off of the altar. She just kind of sits there and focuses and tries to absorb and contemplate what that could be meaning. So she doesn't pay much mind to Zaan peeking, but she's just kind of sitting there and meditating with those thoughts for a minute.
And I do need you to roll a d8.
Yes. We do that. Oh, if it'll help if I take the top off of my dice tower.
Nah.
So I rolled an 8.
Okay. With an 8, the ritual was performed perfectly. Your muscles relax and you feel as if you have just left the spa after an excellent massage.
Ah, perfect. Perfect.
Even with that sense of like, man, I feel great, there is still that, I mean, you've seen Nightmare Before Christmas, right?
Uh-huh.
You know how Sally gets like the pretty Christmas tree and just sort of erupts into fires like dun dun dun. It's that sort of sensation that you've got from your particular vision. There will be good, but there will supposedly be bad.
She just feels all warm and fuzzy inside because it worked. She's like, oh, I still have connection.
Felt like she was at the, spa getting a massage. Little did she know Zaan's back there like, you can do this, I got you.
Are you touching her?
No.
Kasumi just reaches back, adjusts the rabbit ears to get better reception. Old people will get that reference.
Mm-hmm.
I did have one thing I just remembered I would like to do. Sorry, Ian.
No, please, go ahead.
Brick's gonna go find Zaan.
Will you find him creeping on Kasumi in the hallway?
He just, walks up behind him. Father.
It didn't pick that up, did it?
No, it did not.
I'd have to turn Christopher off.
Damn. Shush! I'm spying.
He kind of just looks into the room where Kasumi is. Sure you are. I have a question.
Oh. And that question would be what?
He kind of gets a little like, did you happen to prepare a sending spell today?
That's right. We said that I was going to do that anyways. Let me double check and make sure I did. If I didn't, DM, is it okay if I do?
Considering that you've come off of
I have it on
would
there
say
already.
that considering that you're coming off of 2 days worth of long rests, if you have spells that you would like to swap out, now is the time.
And this could have been sometime in the past 2 days as well. If that
No,
makes
listen,
things easier.
Zaan already did this. I literally opened my page up and it's fucking right there. So
I'm putting that out there for
intelligent.
anyone that may have missed that opportunity to change their spells.
Yeah, I just did that.
Could you send a message to Borgir Thunderbender, please?
Well, 25 words or less. DM, start writing.
No, I'm going to start counting.
Well, Zeke, start writing.
Message from Golem. Magic malfunctioning. Spells fail sometimes. In Harpermere. If you can reach us. If not, please give location.
You have 5 more words.
Okay.
Dire.
love you. Bye.
Dire need.
Love you. Bye.
I am dying.
Very worried. Thank you.
Very worried, thank.
Oh. Whoops.
Zaan's
Sounds
just
like a
sitting here.
golem.
Zaan's just here doing magic in the air. Just writing all of this into the air. It's like, all right. Well, hopefully that works out for you.
So, Zaan, you finish casting the spell, and you have to verbally repeat what he's saying. And there's a few seconds of delay, and you hear a voice reply, but it sounds tired. as if he had just woken up, even though it's like mid-morning for you guys right now. And you hear, "Oh, as I was afraid of, time, Jesus. In Aslan, come see me if you can. Can you leave at the mo?" That's it.
Well, he seems to be in Aslan. He said to come see him if you can. Says he cannot leave, so
There also was that sense that like you woke him up from a dead fucking sleep.
or a drunken rampage.
Potato, potato.
He's in Aslan.
I'm looking at the map. I'm pretty sure the stream can see where I'm looking. I don't know where that is.
It's the place where my other
Bottom right.
The other person who helped build me lives. So he's probably with him.
Like very
Fucking-
bottom right.
No, they fucking.
Oh, oh, I'm sorry. I was looking for like a specific city. Okay.
That's let's see, what's his name? Checking my notes.
What, Borgrier's,
Oh fuck, I don't know how to pronounce that. Amentikalt Chamali?
Nice.
Amentikatl Chimali.
Hey, I was close!
No, you weren't.
Amentikatl Chimali, sorry.
Amentikatl Chamali.
Well, it seems that he is in Kasumi's neck of the woods.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I'll kind of let the rest of the party know over the next few days, as the rest of the party seems to be a lot more charismatic than I am. If any of you can think of a person or way to acquire transportation through teleportation,
If only they had
please do.
some boots that could do that. Actually, I need Zaan's gonna pull the boots out of his bag. I need you to identify these.
Rick's going to pick them up and he's going to fake identify them and throw them out the window.
I don't know. No. Zaan's gonna kick your ass unless you go get them. We're sitting in a hallway. There's no fucking window.
Technically, there's a window behind Kasumi's shrine.
Yeah, they didn't go over Kasumi head. I need you to cast Identify on the boots.
Fine, Brick casts Identify on the boots just to shut them up.
Oh, okay. You do cast Identify, and they are boots of teleportation. But
The boots just, yeah.
But your first thought is, oh, that's nice. And then you kind of delve further in with your magic and you realize that it's just the boots that teleport.
I fucking knew it. I literally fucking knew it. The boots of teleportation. Fucking asshole.
I'm kind of
I
really
like
mad
that.
that you didn't try, because I was so hoping you would try it and then you would find someone that you were teleporting to before. It's like, why did a pair of boots just appear in my fucking living room?
So DM.
Can I activate the enchantment
no.
without? Oh, okay.
No. So DM, I could choose where these teleport to, correct?
They are boots of teleportation.
So if I choose where they're going and throw them, will they continue the momentum when they get there?
You have to be wearing them.
If I'm kicking while I'm doing this, will they continue their momentum?
You can certainly try.
I want to put them on,
Okay.
and I want to activate them,
Okay.
and I want to teleport them into that fuckhole's ass.
Okay. So you imagine where you last saw Oscar, and you all see Zaan in the hallway just gets a little bit of running start. And he goes, huh! And you kind of flinch out of habit because Zaan is coming and sort of attacking at you, but the boot just kind of and disappears.
Just the one or both?
Both.
Okay.
Could have flying double kicked him through the air like a wrestler.
You're not 100% sure what happened, but
I don't give a
the
shit.
boots are gone.
Well, regardless of what happened, I strangely feel better.
That could have probably been useful if we had used our... Never mind.
9. Revenge.
At this point in time,
You could have slipped a note in the boot, or actually no, that probably wouldn't have gone with
The
it.
boots only teleport.
at this point in time,
Write
Kasumi's
something on
going
the
to turn
boot.
around.
Yeah, they
just
really didn't
look
give
at
you much
you.
time to be, zen.
Sorry, Kasumi. He made me do it.
Are you sorry?
Kind of a little bit. I am proud of you, though. It looks like your ritual went off quite well.
It worked this time?
Yes, and I think we need to talk about it as a group.
Why?
So, let's gather everyone.
Okay.
And she just starts walking towards the kitchen.
Vanera!
I'm outside.
There's Pez.
With
Sticks
my
his head out the
babies.
window. Vanera!
What?
I've honestly been kind of contemplating how to handle Pez, because on the one hand, we can play as him just kind of being there, but on the other hand, I also kind of like the idea of him sneaking a drink from the jug of anything and just put him out of commission.
Roll.
Did I roll for it?
But he's gonna look. We need to have Pimp Pez
I
there
know,
for
and that's
dinner.
the only reason why I kind of want him to just sort of be there, so I just wanted to let you guys know that I thought of it.
No, DM, we could do this.
Weekend at
What's
Bernie's.
that movie where the guy who's knocked out with sunglasses on is going
Weekend
to
at
something?
Bernie's.
Weekend at Bernie's.
Weekend at Bernie's, this bitch.
No, we'll have him be normal Pez. It'll be okay. It was just a funny thought that I had. Anyway, so Pez is currently underneath the table in the main room, and he's just sort of sitting there, just kind of playing with Hamburger.
I stick my head out the window. Party meeting. Towards Vanera.
Vanera, what are you doing outside? You've been out there for a bit. I think I know what you're doing, but what are you doing?
With bonding.
Turn yourself
Just
up
like
a little
this.
bit. You're kind of quiet.
Bonding.
Ah!
Bonding, got it.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Good.
Good.
Have you come up with a name for your little critter? Out of curiosity.
Apollo.
Oh,
That's cute.
Is this a reference to Ark?
Shut up, Zeke.
Yeah.
This is how I bring him in.
Hey, you know what? I respect that.
Just like this. With his stupid little head.
No, with his stupid little beak.
So done.
he looks so thrilled.
What are you crying for?
Quit moving.
Look how angry she looks.
She does not look happy with you at all.
Oh, that's
Get back.
definitely going to be your thumbnail.
No.
So are you having fun outside with your pet, Vanera?
What?
Are you were you having fun with your pet?
Yes.
That is good.
Is everybody
Something
around?
about-
Yes, Pez is kind of chilling under the table, but I'm here.
Okay. Okay. So I took some time and I meditated and I did another one of my rituals. And I know last time it didn't really work, but I know everyone else's wasn't really working, but this time it actually worked. And I got a response. And I kind of was wanting to know how tonight was going to go with our dinner. And so I did a little ritual to kind of know how the future is. And it was really great and like fluid. And then it wasn't so great. It kind of exploded. So I feel like we need to be prepared for potential danger tonight. But I don't know if they're going to let us bring in weapons.
Zaan's gonna like think about this. Sword still on his back. I would like to
Brick's
see
just
some
gonna
tribes to
hold
remove
up
it from me.
Brick's just gonna hold up his hand and like,
Yeah.
and then take it, and then
be
he's
fair,
gonna
they-
take the spell sword, open a chest cavity, and shove it in there.
They have every right to tell us that we can't bring in weapons.
Yeah.
Also, I have every right to say no.
R2-D2.
So, that being said, sometimes on the path to avoiding your future, you run into it head first.
Yes, but like I said, I just wanted to give this forewarning so we are prepared regardless if we go in there with our weapons or not. So I think we should just kind of make sure that we are paying attention and, who knows how this is going to be. I honestly haven't gone to a shindig kind of like this, so I don't know if there's going to be a lot of people or if it's just going to be us.
I am not familiar with this word. What is a shindig?
It's just common phrase. I've heard it somewhere, and I kind of like the word. It was a fun word.
I'm pretty sure I said that before.
Yeah, it was probably from Pez.
Yeah.
But we just need to make sure that we are alert and we do not separate and we stay together.
You think they'll let me bring Hamburger in? Will they allow pets?
Maybe we can smuggle him in.
Oh.
I have a big
yes.
poofy dress.
Oh, yes. We can't bring that in.
Brick, open your chest.
Get
There's
in
not
there,
that much
Hamburger.
room. I have stuff in there that I need to work.
Don't worry about it. Put it back later.
I could just imagine Brick stuffing Hamburger in there, and then Hamburger like looking at the big glowy orb and going.
I just want to see all the feathers coming out of your little compartment door. We shouldn't pick
Like
on
the
Hamburger
joke
when
where the-
Pez isn't here. That's mean.
It's like the joke where the woman has the bird in her coat. You just hear.
But yeah, so be prepared and we gotta stay safe.
We will be just fine.
Yeah.
I'm
Hopefully.
gonna let you all do the talking.
I mean, you can probably talk as well.
I'm still curious as to why we were invited to begin with.
Really?
Yeah,
Byrne did say that it might happen.
no, not just the dinner. I'm talking about why the king has taken so much an interest in us. I mean,
Did you not see the last interaction with us? Apparently he thinks we are freaking hilarious.
sure, but I'm talking about when we got the wedding invitation to begin with.
And
We are a bit of an oddity.
Right.
wasn't the...
Hopefully we're not there for entertainment purposes.
Wasn't the admiral the relative of somebody in one of the towns that we had been in before?
I don't remember.
I'm pretty
We've
sure
met
he
a
was.
lot of people.
We have.
Damn, do I remember if he's related? I'm pretty damn sure he's related
Did you
to
take
the
notes?
guy. Sure I did.
Isn't he related to the sheriff?
He's smiling, yes. Yes, there you go.
Marshall is related
Marshall.
to Admiral Grant Greyeye.
There you go. Well, that is why. He was related to the Marshal, and the Marshal thinks we are not completely and totally incompetent and capable of doing something somewhat kind of right.
Mm.
Don't you me?
Well, I'm sorry. I can't help. From my experience of being summoned into powerful places has not been great. So I'm just a little guarded. That's fine, though.
Well, to be fair, the only person here who has caused us any trouble is, the one who's worried about us causing trouble.
Who's that?
If I know it and you don't, Kasumi, I think there's a problem. Veneer's I'm not in this conversation at all!
Brick is fiddling with his spell book.
Kasumi is legitimately confused. She doesn't get it. It goes over her head. And she's just kind of sitting there she has this very puzzled look on her face.
Yeah,
And
Zaan's
she
gonna
just looks at Pez.
Well, don't look at me.
Zaan's gonna walk over, pat Kasumi on her shoulder. Fellow Kasumi, just make sure tonight you as well are on your best behavior. We will all be on our best behavior.
I always try my best.
Yeah.
I think what he means is please no assaulting officials.
I
For
did
very
not
good reason.
assault that man.
By definition, you kind of did.
He was sketchy.
He was.
I am not arguing with the
Agreed,
fact
was
that he was sketchy. But regardless of him being sketchy, the assault technically did happen.
Okay, then I just won't talk to anybody. I will just be there and just be looking around.
Everybody's so negative today.
How
Man, I
is
guess
that
I'm
being-
gonna get to talk to everybody. This is gonna be great. I can't wait.
Zumi, please do the talking. Don't let him do the talking.
He just said I'm really bad at it, though.
I did not say anything about you being bad at talking. I said you were good at assaulting people. It was a compliment.
Maybe people shouldn't be so sketchy sometimes. Maybe
I agree
that's the thing.
100%. Listen, I never said it was bad. Just like how you guys said I burned down the jail was a bad thing.
Okay, well, you did.
Yes, I never said that I didn't. But
That's
that
way
being
worse
said,
than me sternly talking to a strange man that looks sketchy.
that is
And trying to steal
very-
his cane.
That is also very debatable.
What? I didn't try to steal anything.
Vaguely remembers the cane being grabbed at by someone.
I thought he was gonna hit me with it.
Oh yes, after you tried to grab it. This makes a lot of sense. Yes. Zaan
This
is
is a
loving
fun
this.
conversation.
Zaan's loving every moment of this. For once, he has more experience than anybody other than maybe Vanera in this situation. I don't know if Vanera has hung out with any officials or anything like that, but Zaan's used to hang out with Valkyrie and Valkyrie's.
As all of you are arguing about this, you all suddenly notice that Pez is standing there in his pimp coat, just looking at you all back and forth, back and forth.
It's time to go to dinner, isn't it?
I don't know. I'm just ready to go.
Wait, no, we have to have more time because I am nowhere near being ready.
Oh, well, I got bored listening to you, all three of you bitching.
Kasumi's gonna run up to the window and look out and see if she can tell what time it is based off of the sun.
Make an intelligence check. Or
Okay.
survival.
Please
I'll let
be
you do
low.
survival
Please.
if you want to.
Please
I
be low
agree, I too would
anyways.
like to go.
Can I look too?
Intelligence or survival? The ladies would have to do math to see how much time they have to get ready.
Yes, it's important.
Whoo! It's good to I'm the DM. I'm safe.
What's on the
Vanera,
cake? I'm ready.
what'd you roll? You did not roll a natural 20.
Natural 20.
I rolled a 12.
Silvery barbs! No, just joking.
You can't do that shit.
24.
Vanera looks outside and she's kind of looking for a tree with a shadow, and she looks over and sees in Fern's yard that there's a convenient little sundial out there. She kind of looks at it and goes, "Oh, it's about 1, 2 o'clock."
What time is dinner?
Dinner time?
I don't. That's different in different areas. It is way too close to time to leave for me to not be ready, so please excuse me, I will be back. And then she storms upstairs.
I'm gonna go with her.
I just look at Zaan. I'm confused.
Zaan is gonna do a fucking or a Jim Carrey, just close all the way up onto the floor. And
I have no reference, but somehow I'm still disturbed.
I'm gonna go wait outside with Hamburger and keep Cassie company. You guys are weird.
I just
Zaan's
put on my
gonna
cape.
Zaan's gonna don his outfit and brush his fur while he waits for the ladies.
All right. Kasumi and Vanera,
Oh no!
I need you to roll a d4.
Oh no!
I don't like this.
Oh, I
don't
do.
either.
I love this. I love where this is going. I want more.
2.
4.
4. Vanera, you feel like you got ready in pretty decent amount of time. Kasumi, on the other hand,
Oh god.
she is taking her time. Like 20, 30 minutes per tail. She's getting her hair just right. There's a stray sticking out. Whole hair come undone. Start over. She's getting...
You want some help?
I Tonight is very important, and I'm just trying to look really nice because we've just been running around everywhere, and just my hair is not working.
And you hear from the the family room. What's taking so long? It's been an hour.
It's been 2 hours at least.
Or do you want it down?
I want it down, but I want it to not be so annoying. She's frazzled. Like it's like one of those moments where she wants it down, but it's not doing what it's supposed to, and she's just getting mad.
She didn't.
You
ask
see
the
an
rabbit.
owl like head poke around the bottom of the doorway.
You're just surprised you didn't ask the rabbit who's used to brushing fur to brush your tails for you.
But yeah, she gives up on her hair temporarily, and then she gets herself in the gown and gets all situated, and then she kind of goes back to try to finish up her hair.
Okay.
I will help in any way that I can.
I need it.
I will say that with Vanera's help, instead of the 4 hours it would have taken you, it only takes 3.
Okay.
Because she was distracted helping herself, but now she's able to help you. So, there you go.
Perfect.
So.
I don't know what they're doing, Zaan. They're messing with her hair a lot.
Brick, you will learn one day when you find a metal lady of your own, or a metal man of your own, that sometimes making oneself look wonderful takes a long time.
But she already looks wonderful.
God damn it, you're so sweet, and I think you're still so naive at the same time. Here's hold on 2nd, Brick. Zaan's gonna take Brick and push him up to where Kasumi's getting ready. Just say what you said already. Just right now, say that again while looking at
So I
it.
get pushed into the doorway. Say what again?
What about Kasumi getting ready to make herself more beautiful?
That she already looks beautiful. As I'm standing in the doorway.
That's so sweet.
Ooh, pretty.
You're welcome.
Did we fix it? Vanera isn't fixed.
You're beautiful.
Okay.
I promise. You look lovely.
She's slowly less frazzled, and by the time she's less frazzled, she looks at you and she's like, "Oh my gosh, you look beautiful."
This is like the girls getting ready. It's like, oh my god, you look great.
What is happening?
I'm so
Trying
glad
not to cry.
I'm so glad I started this snowball.
Oh my god.
Yeah, once she's finished with her freak out moment, she then realizes like how Vanera looks. She's just like, "Oh my god, you look so pretty."
Thanks, you do.
Vanera's sparkling. Kasumi has little flower petals trailing off of her kimono. And you all notice that this is the first time Zaan has put his on. It sort of looks like it's snowing around him. But the snow
And
never
that
really
fur
seems to
of his?
hit the ground. Like right before it gets to the ground, it disappears.
And you notice his fur is fucking on point. Never seen that fur so nice before.
It's freshly floofed.
Shiny. Freshly floofed.
Yes, if you were to feel it right now, it would rival silk.
And I am wearing a cape.
Son's just gonna pat Brick. You sure are.
Did Brick at least like polish himself, or is he
Brick
just
is
like
always polished. Excuse you.
Yeah, he polishes his tools all the time.
We all know.
It's that
He's just
mysterious sound in the middle of your watches.
Yeah.
Clink, clack, clink, clack.
You hear the spray, the
WD-40.
Oh god.
The little oil thing.
Wow, we are a
Wow.
special breed of unhinged
and
tonight.
the water is his armor.
Wow.
Alrighty.
We're gonna
Ben,
make
I
our
think
way.
we all look fantastic. Let's go.
You all head out the front steps. Pez is outside in his pimp coat, just kind of playing with Hamburger, throwing a stick for him, and he's bringing it back. He's like, I've been waiting for hours.
I will
take Hez's arm and like,
Oh, okay. I like this.
Brick seeing that looks at Kasumi and offers his arm.
How much taller are you than me?
How tall am I? Fuck, I've forgotten. That hasn't come up in so long. He is 6'10".
Kasumi is like 5'6".
So instead of doing the arm in arm, he may have his arm here, but you kind of have like your hand like hooked up.
I'm just gonna look to his right.
Just reaches down and holds onto Hamburger's wing. Vanera, where are you keeping Apollo? Where are you keeping Apollo, Vanera?
don't worry about it.
I am the DM. I need to know about it.
She's gonna lift up the hem of her dress and rush over to Fern. And is Fern's open?
It looks dark.
No.
I thought of something you can do, but I'm afraid to tell you about it.
What?
Put it bag, you'll forget it.
No.
How about the closet?
You can chuck him into the closet to burn.
I mean,
That's actually what I was going to say.
you're gonna wake up Fern really badly.
Why don't you just put him in your room and lock the door? Kasumi? Or the room and locks the door?
Wasn't there a spare room upstairs?
There's a workshop, but we don't really have anything in yet.
Well, then less things to destroy.
Why didn't you just ask him for a cage? Like
So
my
if
Shrimpy.
Griffin gets hungry.
We don't have a cage.
I do.
The sun is
Where?
beginning to dip lower and lower over the horizon, casting really long shadows.
Where's the
I got
cage?
I got mine with magnets. You're not putting the griffin in with magnets. He will eat him.
Neither of you bought a cage.
It came with the cage. It was in it, I could have sworn.
No.
No,
you
he's just
were-
in there, though.
She's gonna rush back inside, football her griffin.
You're doing this in a full evening gown.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She's gonna open the door to the closet, grab a hunk of meat, go upstairs, go in the supply workshop, put him down, give him a hunk of meat. Behave. Shut the door. Go downstairs.
Oh no,
Okay.
he's writing.
I know.
Thank God we don't have the
Bye.
magic furnace in there yet.
Duly noted.
Wait, no. We'd be having GFC, or no. KFG. Kentucky Fried Griffin.
It's a little fucked up. So, Apollo has been safely stored away. Who is messaging me? Oh, yeah. I remember what Vanera's wearing.
The rest don't.
Oh, well. So,
That was useful. Thank you.
so you all head on towards the castle.
Alone.
The nightlife around here seems a little bit more subdued than what you're used to. Most of the people that are here have their own large homes and they host their own dinner parties there and whatnot. You can hear some commotion down the road, but there's some laughing and it sounds like some string instruments are being played. But your main goal is the castle, basically straight out your front door across the courtyard. As you all head towards the front towers, you can see on either side there are two guards standing watch. And as they see you approaching, they had basically a clear shot from where you came out of the wagon home. All four of them snap to attention as you approach. They don't say anything.
Hello, gentlemen. How are you doing this evening?
No response. They're fully armored, face masks, all of it. They have halberds, blue tabards with the Harpermere crest on it.
Uh-huh.
Oh, up the big stairs to the big building? Yes, thank you. Just gonna walk in.
Okay.
I'm dragon pass.
So, the 5 of you walk on inside, Hamburger clucking behind. You see, as soon as you cross the threshold, there's a difference in texture to the ground, where the cobblestones have been smoothed outside by years of travel. The ground here is almost like a mosaic tiled. There's beautiful patterns. They're all very clean, very well kept. And you see directly in front of you looks like a small garden fountain. There's a large fountain in the middle, and right around the sides there's little bits of bush and grass and some trees, but it's very, very compact to what you've seen possibly before. And standing in front of the fountain arrangement is an older gentleman in a very, very nice, well-tailored suit.
Damn, he dapper.
And he's watching as all of you approach, and as you get closer, you see, with both hands behind his back, he bows deep, looks up and goes, "Good afternoon. I am Ulrich Payne, steward of the Harpermeres. Am I to assume you are the Tempests?"
If it be assuming right.
Mm-hmm.
And you said Ulrich Payne, like
Yes.
Ulrich?
Alricpayne.
I knew it was going to be that pain.
He appears to be an older human male. He seems a little battle hardened. His skin is fairly wrinkly, and he has some very old scars showing up pale on his otherwise tan skin. And as you all give the affirmative that you are who he assumes you to be, he kind of straightens back up and says, "Follow me, if you please." And he begins walking through the courtyard. You
Got it, Jeeves.
see him stop, turn. Ulrich.
So, Ulrich,
Sir.
are you by chance a veteran?
In a sense, I am. It's been many, many seasons since I sailed the seas.
Don't worry, they're just as fun.
He kind of looks over his shoulder as he walks and sees you retire and goes, "I see." So he takes you through the little courtyard, and it's a very beautiful little space. Especially takes you through and around the fountain. Just he could have gone around it and saved you some steps, but it sort of seems like maybe he wants to show off a little bit. You head up another set of steps, and you immediately take a right as the steps curve further upward. The castle courtyard is tiered. It's about 10 to 15 feet up off the ground as you're going up the steps. And as you get to the higher level, you see the main part of the castle. There seems to be a very large staircase in front of you with giant oaken doors, and that appears to be where he is leading you at the moment.
Very pretty.
Well, I would hope so. It's been here for generations.
Yes.
Well, Tempests, do behave. There are eyes watching everywhere. While you may be well heralded, you are still a bit of an unknown. And I take the safety of the royal family. He's saying this as he gets to the front doors, and he stops, turns, and looks at all of you individually, very seriously. So, welcome to Harpermere Castle. Enjoy your stay. If you are ever in need of anything, all you must do is ask. And he pushes open the large doorway that's sitting behind him.
Zaan as he walks in. Sparring match sometime in the future.
That's kind of all he says to you. Standing directly inside, you see a multitude of very interesting things. Directly inside, you see what appears to be a half-orc and a very shoddily dressed goblin standing there in the front entrance. The half-orc has his arms crossed and he seems a bit perturbed. The other goblin just seems kind of hoity-toity and just sort of like he's better than you. Kind of, you get that sort
Seems like a goblin.
Seems very much like a goblin. And as you step inside, Ulrich gestures at the pair and says, "Ah, this is Doomley," pointing at the goblin, "and Piers," to the half-orc. "They're the ones in charge of the servants. Should anything be not to your satisfaction, these are the ones you would speak to. If you cannot find them, you may always speak to me." The pair of them kind of nod their heads towards you from the greeting, and they step to the side, make room.
It's a Dooley for the goblin, right?
Doomley. D-U-M-I-L.
I-L-Y?
D-U-M-I-L. Or sorry,
Okay.
I said Doomley, I meant Doomil.
How do you
Apologies.
spell Piers?
P-I-E-R-S.
Gotcha.
And you see directly behind them what you thought were 2 rows of servants kind of making a big spectacle of the thing. You realize that they have no heads. But they are all dressed exactly the same. Same gloves, same coat, same tie, the same little cloth draped over their forearm, and they are all standing perfectly still.
Wow, that is impressive.
Magic.
A quick little glance, you kind of, Brick, since you're at the right height, you kind of like glance over, hollow.
Zaan's just gonna where a head should be.
Do you actually?
Fuck yeah, dude! Are you kidding me?
There's nothing there. It doesn't even seem to react to it.
Oh, this is cool.
So, as you get past the initial hallway, you see behind them is the throne room. It's up on the dais, on a bit of a dais, and there are 4 chairs. 2 of them are quite large, with 2 on either side of a smaller stature. And you see more of the headless servants standing a little bit off to the side, to the stage right, your left of the throne, where another set of large doors are parted and open. And there's more servants there, and they seem to be standing prim proper and waiting.
It seems they are trying to make a very good impression. And succeeding, and so.
They are royalty.
True, but royalty does act different in some countries.
You hear Ulrich from behind you. This is quite normal for a dignitary dinner. So, please, if you would, to the left.
Sure. Shuffle, 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 shuffle.
All right. You'll have to bear with me here. I'm about to share a bunch more reference photos.
Fine.
Let me go over to the reference page.
All right. So, as you step into the hall, you see that this is the grand hall, the feast hall. There's a long, long table. There's already drinks. There's some sort of appetizers on it. There's bowls of grapes, cheeses, meats. Looks like wafers or crackers of some sort. And there's already quite a few people sat around the table already. The first ones to see you, and for you to see, would be the king and the queen sitting at the end of the table. You have not seen the queen before, but You have met the king, and judging by the gorgeous half-elf beside him, it couldn't be anyone else. The king rises, and so too does the queen. They're dressed to the nines. The queen has a golden circlet across her brow, gray silvery hair, much like Enna's that you've seen in Fern's cafe, and a spitting image of her mother. The king is dressed in his usual blue coat. Still looks very much like a sea captain, but it's very, very nice. It's not weathered by the sun. There's no fraying. Say again?
Kind of like a naval professional admiral's outfit kind of thing?
Yes.
Like the naval ball.
Yeah.
And you guys are going to get mad at me for not wearing my combat garb. To the king and queen's right, you see a human male in a similar blue coat to the king. Looks almost a spitting image of King Damien. And right beside him, you see Princess Emma, sorry. And she sees the five of you, and you see a very small, like almost like she's trying to hide a little wave as she sees you coming in. Across Sunway's back.
Across the table from them, you see another pair, another girl that looks more like King Damien, doesn't have the pointy ears, and beside her is a fairly handsome, very tall, green-skinned half-orc gentleman, wearing a similar sort of naval garb to what the king is wearing.
Damn, and no shirt though, huh? Fucking Terry Crews those specs.
Douche, douche. Another familiar face.
Kasumi and I, don't worry about it.
Yeah, I was trying to hook the ladies up. Beside the half-orc is sitting another familiar face, and a familiar feathery face of Otis. Okay, cool. Let me get the next couple popped out there. The rest of the faces sitting around the table you are unfamiliar with. There is a dwarf, another human, a pair of halflings, and a green-skinned tiefling sitting further down the table.
Oh, come on. You can't say that tiefling doesn't look awesome. Looks mischievous and evil, but awesome.
Looks suspicious.
So, as you all arrive in, the king is the first to rise, with his queen rising shortly after, and seeing them stand up, the rest of the attendees stand up and look towards you. And of course, Emma is kind of like from her end of the table. And the king, he spreads his hands wide and goes, "Ah, the Tempests! We meet in the flesh at last. Welcome, welcome. Please, please sit. There are plenty of chairs." And as he begins to sit down, the rest of the people at the table sit down as well.
I just kind of whispered, assuming, where would you like to sit?
I don't know, but I'm very uncomfortable right now.
Are there 5 chairs that are all together?
There's far more than 5 chairs. You would have to walk past at least 5 to 6 of them to get to where the other members have.
Are the king? Is the king and queen like at the head of the table?
If you imagine a big rectangular table, it's the king and queen, Enna and the human male, the girl and the half orc, and then Otis and the others sprinkling down the sides.
I'm gonna sit next to the half orc.
Can I? Does Otis have someone across from him? I'd like to sit across from Otis if it's available.
There is a seat next to Otis.
I'll take it.
Okay.
I'll seat myself and Kasumi like to where we can kind of see Emma.
Okay.
Yeah,
Here, hold on. Let me.
And I'll interpose myself between Kasumi and the rest of everyone else.
Let me get a better right up of who's where.
Okay.
Just
Yeah,
drawing that
Kasumi-
shit out.
Yeah.
Kasumi has, you can tell she's got like this fake facade of like this smile, like this plastered on smile, but she's just like, I don't like all these people staring at me. There's too many people here.
Ironically, Zaan's completely unfazed by any of this.
So if it's all right with Kasumi, he'll seat himself between her and everyone else to kind of be a shield.
Okay.
Or closest to the door. That's always another option.
I think you're all sitting on one side, and I'm the only one on the other, if I'm not mistaken.
But we don't know where Pez is.
Okay. So the spot beside Otis is free. Unfortunately, Emma is further up the table, but you can sit beside Vanera if you want to be on a side to be able to see Emma.
Sure.
Okay, so Vanera, Brick. So the king is on the left, queen is on the right. The right side is starting to fill up a lot more. Are you guys going to try to balance out, or are you just going to pick one side of the table?
Zaan's fucking left side, baby.
Okay.
Bring it on.
So Kasumi, which side are you going to sit beside? Zaan? Do you want to be beside Brick? We'll just have Pez fill in wherever.
She's gonna sit by Brick because she's very much like she's like caving in on herself. She's like, there's too many people here.
Okay, so Pez is going to sit beside you then, Zaan.
This fucking outfit.
Oh my god, I love
Wait,
it.
hold on. Did he share it somewhere?
Wednesday!
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, okay, so Pez literally posted... That is wonderful. It's basically Elton John's, like, flowery costume. So as Pez sits down beside Zaan, you realize that his outfit is as tall as you are. Have you seen the video where like the guy like ties a balloon around his turtle? Pez is like that. You can't lose him in a crowd anymore.
I remember when Pez was young.
So Zaan, on the images that I shared to you, you were sitting next to the gentleman to the right of the tiefling lady.
So much fun.
He is between you and her.
You said, so you're talking about the dude like the black coated gentleman?
Yes, with the blonde hair, looks very kind of kind of guy.
Oh, we
Yeah.
call him living a soul.
So, as you all go and you pick your seats, the king is smiling at all of you and just seems generally excited. It's like, well, welcome. Please, let me introduce you to everyone. This here is my lovely wife, Queen Sonia. Yeah, are you guys ready to write down a fuckload of names?
I'm working on it.
I'm gonna be honest, Kasumi is not, because she is not paying attention that closely.
Okay.
Ready.
He then gestures to his immediate right where the younger man is sitting. This is Crown Prince Owen, my firstborn of my late wife. And across from her is my daughter, Princess Enna, soon to be married to Admiral Grant Greyeye. And he points to the half-orc sitting beside her. And of course, you all are aware of my youngest daughter, Emma, who is sitting beside Prince Owen.
Sorry, pause.
Sir.
Okay. The princesses. Enna is the one we know.
No, Emma is the one we know.
EMMA is the half-elf that you know. Enna, ENA, is the one to be married. And she kind of has the look of... She looks a bit tomboyish. Like, whereas Emma is wearing a very lovely dress, Enna is wearing what looks to be closer to military-grade garb, like her brother sitting across from her. Less trench coaty, but very form-fitting.
And she's marrying the half-orc?
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure
Yes.
I'm getting everybody correct.
Grant
Yes.
Owen and Enna are human. Emma is a half-elf like her mother, if that helps you keep them apart at all.
Okay. It's a lot. Okay,
It is a lot. I'm introducing a lot of characters to you guys, so please don't feel bad about being like, what the fuck is happening?
Overload!
Lore dump! He gestures then, since he moved on to Emma, he says, and beside her is Wharf Master Brim Strongarm, local legend of Harpermere. You see the dwarf sitting there kind of rough and tumble. He just kind of gives you a grunt and a,
What was his name?
Wharf Master Brim Strongarm.
Who we've heard about already.
You have heard tales of him. I believe one of you heard kids talking about him at some point.
I thought we heard from Fern or someone else, but yeah.
May have been. There's so much lore going on right now, guys. I have no fucking idea anymore. Someone go back and fact check me, damn it. You see him kind of look over at you all and goes,
Go back.
I've heard tales of you as well. We'd love to share some stories, eh? And then he says, beside the wharf master there, you have Baroness Lorella Quint. You see the female tiefling just kind of looks at you all with this very kind of like slightly lifted chin and just gives you a very, very brief nod.
Spell her name.
Lorella. And Quint is Quint.
First try.
You say Borella or Lorella?
Lorella. Lor.
Okay, so-
First try.
You guys are going to love the next name. I don't even know why I gave
God.
him this. Beside her, we have Lord Hubert Fabroni.
I'm sorry, what?
I was so hoping you'd say Farnsworth.
Lord... Oh, I should have. Is it too late to change it?
No!
No.
Lord Hubert Farnsworth. Change
What was the original name?
Fabroni.
For Brony?
Yes.
So tell me, sir, how do you feel about your little ponies?
No,
Okay,
no,
which one was this? Was this the human male
This
or
was
the
the human-
halfling?
No, this was the human male sitting next to the Baroness.
What was the new one? I forgot already.
Farnsworth.
Farnsworth.
Yep. I love that so much more.
I'm sorry,
Is
I
that a
couldn't
reference?
resist.
Is that a reference?
Hubert Farnsworth?
Futurama.
Futurama!
Oh, I never watched Futurama.
God, what the fuck is wrong with you? Stop playing this game and go fucking watch it.
No.
No.
This is way more interesting than Futurama.
That human also kind of gives you a slightly lifted chin look, but says nothing. He goes back to the other side of the table, to the two halflings sitting next to the admiral, and these two lovely halflings here are Lord and Lady Maelglin. And you see the male lean forward and go,
Oh,
I've heard of you, Lord. You've supposedly done well for my little, for the citizenry in my domain. Yes?
That's what
Yes.
I do wish to thank you while I am here. Come and see me a bit later. I would love to hear more of your exploits in my town.
oh.
And
Yeah.
even his wife sitting beside him just seems to be kind of pleased and is a very subdued sort of starstruck kind of look to her, where she's like excited but trying to like gotta keep it
Tone
together.
it down.
Yeah.
Tone it down.
Brick's just like, oh crap.
Next to them, I'm sure you're very well aware, we have Archmage Otis, we've met before. And for those of you who may not know, these here are the Tempests. And let me see if my memory serves me correctly. And he points at Zaan and he says, you were Zaan? He kind of, it's like, he's been trying to not say anything. And you even see him sitting there, kind of like tapping at his chin. Emma is losing her shit. She seems very interested in something wherever her brother is sitting, and you can see a bit of rosiness to her cheeks where she is just kind of shaking. Pez, yes?
You go, yes, sir, that's me.
Lord Dad from Pez.
And we have Lady Vanera, Sir Brick, and Lady Kasumi. Welcome, welcome. It is fantastic to have you all here for real. It was nice meeting you in Fern's little hoodoo that he has, but seeing you in the flesh, it's encouraging. I trust your travels here weren't too ornery.
50. You know, land sharks, gods, evil things, life-scarring events, as usual.
You see him kind of lean over to his wife and whisper something, and she kind of just grins and like smacks his arm real quick.
I like them.
Anyway, well, we are all here. Let us eat. And he claps his hands. And you're not exactly sure from where. The hall is long. There's pillars supporting the ceiling. People are just sort of appearing out of nowhere. They're bringing in food. They're bringing in wine, ale. Some of them are the headless servants that you had seen in the front hall. Seem to be moving very, very robotically. There are a few other humans roaming around that seem to be coming by and checking on everyone. There's one human male, and it looks like 2 human females coming by. Let me get you a representation of what they look like. But they all come and make sure that they have your preferred drinks correct, and whatever it is that you're looking to, if there's anything that you're like, oh, well, I don't like this, and, just being picky little bastards.
Just as a side note, my headcanon is that the king leaned over to the queen. He's like, can we please keep them?
I can neither confirm nor deny these accusations.
Also, DM, while you're pulling that up, is my arcane sense getting a lot of, pings of, oh, this is probably some sort of teleportation or visibility or something? Am I picking up on anything?
An Arcana check. So those are just a few of the kind of more humanoid, human servants that you see walking back and forth and helping you. It's the best picture I could find of the one little blonde-haired girl, but imagine that she's a little bit not patchy.
Arcana 14, so that's 22.
Jesus. Okay.
Yes, my child.
You, as you're kind of watching and kind of getting the basic lay of the land, several conversations open up. Some of the dignitaries that are there are talking across to each other because they're more familiar with each other. They don't know you so much. But Brick, you're distracted. You're just like, where the fuck did these people come from? And you start really watching, and you see that as people are going behind the pillars, that's when they seem to be vanishing. So you kind of and lean to the side, and you're seeing that sometimes they're walking behind a tapestry. Sometimes they seem to be walking into a solid brick wall, and they're just vanishing. You're not entirely sure if it's all illusions or if they're just a bunch of secret passageways, but it definitely seems like the walls are not as they seem.
Hey, DM.
Madam?
While this is going on,
Yes.
could I take out my cup of captions and attune to it while we have dinner?
Oh.
It would take you an hour.
Yep. I expect dinner to take longer than an hour.
Which item are you unattuning from?
The,
I would mention also that your weapons would have been, if you had any on you, visible. They would have been confiscated. So, your swords, the bow, your shield would have been taken. But anything that is small and likely able to be concealed, I would say that you could get away with it.
So the 50 knives I carry on me at all times are still on me?
Yeah, when you sneeze and you sound like a fucking wind chime,
That's you.
That scene in every action Western, also Lord
Oh,
of the
yeah,
Rings,
the-
was just pulling out all the knives.
Dude,
It's like,
fucking
hey.
the
Aw.
Matrix. Do you have any? What do you have on you?
Ring of
Holy
split mind, by
shit!
the way.
You took off what?
Ring of split mind. Because I hadn't attuned to that.
Okay. Okay.
An issue?
Well, I was looking at your page, and I saw that you were attuned to the Great Owl Shroud, your Woodland Staff, and the Detective's Notebook.
Oh. D&D Beyond just died on me.
Oh.
Yay.
Yeah, I just hit refresh to see your update, and it kind of shat the bed. Oh, okay, it's back for me.
Well.
Oh, nope. Yep, it just died. Thanks, D&D Beyond. Appreciate you. We'll say that one of your items has been taken off, and we can burn that bridge when we're able to get back to it.
Detective's notebook.
Okay, so you want to tune from the Detective's Notebook, and you put the cuff on, and again, it does take a little bit, but yeah. So with Otis sitting beside you, Vanera, you see him. He's kind of picking up things and like tossing grapes up into his little beak, and just like, he's, you were the one who messaged me. Yes.
Yes.
You see him kind of dip his head. It is good to see you in person for a change.
Did you see?
If you wish to converse this evening, I am more than willing. I do... And he kind of leans down and gets close to your ear. I do not like many of these people. But you seem to have a interesting mind.
I figured when you replied that it would be a more private conversation, so whenever.
Yes. Conversation.
We may wait. There is no rush.
It's not birds and bees now, son. It's owls and unicorns.
Okay, that got weird.
Nope. I am 100% on board with this shit. Let's do it.
See, it's not weird.
It's a little weird.
Way to discriminate against furries.
So,
Brick learns of the owls and unicorns.
as the food is brought out and conversations arise, it is a bit difficult to converse too terribly far down the table, as it would require some bits of shouting. After a bit of time and eating, you see that Emma is getting a bit restless and bored, and eventually she kind of looks over at her father and kind of like and he kind of catches her eye and goes and like waves her on. So she scoots her chair out and she immediately runs over and sits down and just starts gushing with Pez about his outfit.
Can I have my mage hand like appear above my head and like get her attention and wave?
Somewhere along the way as they're conversing and you're back and forth, she also waves at you. And if there's anything you want to say to her,
it is good to see you. You look very nice.
yes, oh, well, thank you. You all look lovely as well. Kasumi, Vanera, dresses are fantastic.
They're magical, aren't they?
So pretty.
You see her lean across the table and just goes, I want one.
You're quiet.
I just kind of
made them for us.
My father doesn't like him. He keeps trying to give him things like what Pez has.
You look so fancy.
I know!
I just look at her with this kind of like deadpan look on Brick's face. They tried to make me wear a full costume. I got away with just the cape.
They're not called costumes,
well,
they are called outfits.
You look good too, Brick.
Thank you.
Pink
It's
is
a
definitely
lovely
his
shade of
color.
pink.
It's my favorite color.
Oh, well, good.
You look wonderful.
Is Brick within eyesight of Vanera or close by? Where did the rest of everyone sit?
Brick is to your left. You have the owl on your right. You have Brick on your left. Pez, Emma, and Zaan are directly in front of you. And Kasumi is to the left of Brick.
Lean over at Brick.
She'd probably like you more if you were wearing a full outfit.
Kasumi just starts laughing. You can't really see her because she's being hid by like Brick's form.
I just see the tails behind him, just like
see
giggling.
Were you trying to hide this, Vanera? Were you trying to actually whisper it, or were you just like stage whispering?
Stage whispering.
Okay. So you see Emma kind of grinning and just kind of looks at Brick and goes,
And he just kind of frowns at Vanera's like, she likes me just fine. Wait, you like me, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
She's lying.
No, I'm not.
she kind of looks down the table, sees that her father is distracted talking to the Admiral and her sister, and she kind of gets a grape and flicks it at you.
Oh,
Don't start a food fight. Zaan will continue it and make it a lot worse.
Oh no, we're about to ruin a state dinner.
Oh, this is about to be all kinds of fucking hell, man.
she's gonna use thaumaturgy
What are you doing?
on her eyes.
Vanera's eyes or
On my eyes.
on your eyes? Okay.
She is just going to. What color are her eyes?
They are crystal blue.
She's gonna flash crystal blue in her eyes.
So jealous.
Yeah. As the conversations kind of continue and move on, seeing that Emma has moved around, a few people begin to kind of, as the meal continues on, some of them begin shifting around a little bit so that they can better converse with other people. After a while, you see the dwarf scoot back from where he is, and he's got a big tankard of some sort of alcoholic beverage, and he kind of thumps over and taps Emma on the shoulder and goes, "Come on, lass, let's have a sit. I want to chat with these ones for a bit, eh?" She kind of goes, "Oh, okay." She gets back up and goes back to her seat where she can continue eating, and the wharf master sits down with a heavy thud, slams the tankard down and goes,
So, land sharks?
Yes. Was quite this the event.
Would Brick have found anything in his reading or in his base knowledge what they actually were?
"Make a history check."
Can I do the same thing?
Yeah, he fucking knows what it is. That's gonna be a 25.
Vanera, whether or not you knew, Brick replies with look to Zaan and the wharf master and
Actually,
Actually.
I believe their species name is a bullet. But yes, they are basically a land shark.
Yes, and they hurt.
Oh.
And they are butts.
you all hear the sound of chair legs squeaking against tile as the prince suddenly stands up and like hurries over to sit down next to the wharf master. Goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, you said you fought bullets."
Yes.
Yes.
One took me underground.
"Oh, there's got to be a story here. Come on, tell us. And
I was looking at a.
He's like late 20s, early 30s. He's kind of on the older side, but he is currently geeking out about this.
Yes, I went to go look at a hole and attacked me from behind. Brought me into the den, and there were two of them that attacked us. It was
And you live
quite...
to tell about it. Not even a scar. Look at them. He's like looking at the wharf master. He goes, I know. Takes a drink.
To be fair, they did leave some bite marks, but I mean, I am covered in fur. It hides easy.
You see the Prince Owen kind of lean back and go, oh, Lord, I wouldn't give to get out of this stuffy place and try my hand at a real beast for a change.
I mean, you are the prince. Who can tell you no?
And Vanera's just gonna look at him and be like, the king and the queen.
Well, I mean, Valkyrie told me no all the time, and I still did it anyways.
Yeah, you're a delinquent, though.
Yes. Wait a minute! This is not nice!
You just hear the dwarf like,
Hey.
you guys are fun.
Well, when you are young and people don't like you going and sneaking out because everybody might be afraid of you for some strange reason, you want to go out anyways. The snow is nice.
I am not a big fan of the snow. You hear Otis chiming in from beside you, Vanera.
I don't blame you. Neither am I.
I love the snow.
It is cold.
Never seen it.
You have not.
I am only a couple of months old at this point.
A
few.
Yes, I do remember this now.
It was funny when you mess with his mind.
Please don't do that again.
As you said that, Zaan, the head started to rotate that direction. But like, you know, how the owls do, where the head just kind of like...
I had a very bad experience with that happening since we last met.
Oh, yes.
One must always protect the mind.
I am
Russ.
working towards learning a new spell.
Don't worry, Brick. If you really want to test your mind, we can go back to where I'm from. It will scour you emotionally for life.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I'd rather us not talk about that spell. And Kasumi like grabs one of her tails and like nervously just like petting it. Like, this is my comfort blanket.
It was horrifying. I will dream of it forever. Zaan is smiling the whole time he's saying this, but it's fucking up. Actually, speaking of that, Otis, are you familiar with other realms, out of curiosity?
You see him like turn his head from Brick towards you and go and tilts it slightly. In what sense?
If I was to describe a realm to you, would you be able to give me a loose idea of what it might be or where it might be?
Do you mean one of the kingdoms of this plane?
9. It would be a plane that exists. I wouldn't really know.
Plane.
Yes.
I am familiar with them. And it's at this point that the wharf master just kind of gets bored, grabs a drink, gets up, thumps back over to his table, and you see him sit down kind of like, man, just starts drinking.
Well, I'm trying to think of how to describe it. Was there a way I can show it to you?
This is a plane you have seen.
Unfortunately, yes. Very much so. Apparently it's where I am from.
I would not assume that your magic would let you wander. So,
Very so wrong in that aspect. All I know is that the realm is barren of anything swirling in purples and red and entities that would cause a normal man to go mad.
you see him looked a bit puzzled by your description. This does not ring true to one, but the many. How did you get to this plane?
I banished myself.
You hear a few people around the table snort, spit their drinks a bit. Emma is in giggle fits again. You even see the Admiral had been in the middle of taking a big chug, and you just hear as he sits back into his mug, and he is just roaring with laughter, thumping the table, and he goes, "You did not!"
I did.
Yeah, he did.
I was trying to take a bath in a water world, but that did not work out at all.
I did not even know you could banish yourself. Anna, you hear this?
You can see he's kind of wobbling around a little bit. She's like, yes, I hear. Slow down.
Yes, the creatures were even worse. The creature was worse. I could not see it. I could only feel it. Like a maddening presence that only got closer and closer until I came back. It turns out it was gone for half an hour.
He's lucky he came back.
Agreed.
Even the king is leaning forward and is kind of stroking his closely cropped beard, and sounds quite harrowing.
Maddening would be more accurate, to be blatantly honest. And not like angry maddening, like maddening.
Well, it is good you survived your ordeal. It's
That he did to himself.
Yes.
yes, I am beginning to see a trend with you lot. Suppose so long as you keep it contained within yourselves and do not let it run rampant in my city.
I don't really think that it can come out supported with me.
I would
Not sure if that's
certainly
how this
hope
would
not.
work.
We are somehow both unpredictable and consistent at the same time.
I rode a T-Rex's face and stabbed it in his eye.
You hear Prince Owen in front of you go, "Oh!"
That was the same T-Rex that almost tore me apart.
Yes, it was very epic.
And it's at this point that Owen speaks up and goes, "And I heard you're not wearing armor. That is just you."
I open a flap and you just see the gears and stuff inside and close it back.
You even see Otis kind of peer over and lean forward and around Vanera to take a peek as you do so, and you beginning to feel that there's pretty much all the eyes are on you all now.
Like I said, I am only 3, maybe 2.5 months old at this point.
I'm not sure if we've kept track very well, to be honest.
I stopped counting after 50 days.
We usually all do.
It's at this point that the king speaks up again. And where exactly are you from? I can tell from most of you. He kind of points at Kasumi and then Zaan, and Pez. They have that sort of look about them. Well, except for Pez. Generally, he has a look about him that lets people know where he's from.
Right now, it looks like he wants to play a piano solo. Damn.
Nim, if you're still listening, roll a performance check. I'm curious. But you, sir, Sir Brick, where are you from?
Technically, nowhere. I am an experimental form of life constructed by Borgir Thunderbender of the Dwarves and a confidant of his from the nation of Aslan. I was brought online by a complete fluke while in transport in the Western lands.
He's a little delinquent.
As you mention Borgir's name, you see the wharf master with a heavy thud puts his tankard down and just kind of leans over and it's just kind of really, really paying attention now that you're kind of getting back into more dwarvy things.
More dwarvy things.
Well, happy you woke up then.
As am I. Though it was strange to be awoken by a gunshot to the face.
You know, I do remember, and he looks over at the Admiral, I do remember your cousin saying something along those lines in his letter. It wasn't him, was it?
No, someone was trying to steal me.
Ah. No, that
Oh wait,
makes...
are you talking about? Sorry. Were you talking about the outlaws that we got?
Yes.
At this time, Kazumi is taking just a couple minutes to visually scan the room and see if anything suspicious catches her eye.
Okay. I would say make a perception check unless you wish to look at a specific person, in which case I would say an insight check.
I think perception. She's kind of like tuning out the conversation, and she's just like casually just petting her tail, just like scanning the room.
Okay.
Okay. That would be a 16.
A 16?
Mm-hmm.
So everyone more or less seems to be very, very interested in what you all have to say. The few things that may sort of stand out to you is the Baroness and the human male sitting beside him, or beside her. They seem fairly disinterested in all of this. This seems to be a bit more of a formality to them. The other thing you may notice is the half-orc Piers is standing off in the corner, arms still crossed, and his eyes are just constantly scanning around the room. And see, his brow is kind of furrowed, and just he seems incredibly focused at the moment.
Okay.
Has it been an hour?
Yeah, it's definitely been an hour at this point. You've had your appetizer go through. You've still partially through your the main course, and that's around the time when people started to kind of shift their places as they were kind of finishing and just wanting to talk more than now that they were properly full. Okay.
Oh.
Right.
Wait, who was interested in the Duke?
Sorry, say again?
Wasn't one of the princes interested in the dude that we captured and killed? The Duke? Or we didn't?
No,
No.
Princess
No?
Enna is getting married to Admiral Greyeye. That's why we're here.
No, I meant the story. No, that I got.
Oh, one of them was interested in the story about the T-Rex.
Yeah.
Oh, that was... Owen, anytime you start talking about your adventures, he seems to latch on, like he's trying to live vicariously through these stories and these tales that he hears about. You kind of get a sense that he's not allowed to go out. As the oldest son, he's probably being worked towards becoming the king in the future, and therefore maybe doesn't have quite so much free time to go and live out such a life.
Are there any like benches or chairs that are like up against one of the walls, like not at the table, or is it just the table and the chairs?
From that particular role that you had, it doesn't look like there are extra benches. There seems to be pretty much the chairs that are at the table that you're sitting at.
Okay.
You're trying to get away.
Come sail away. Come.
All right. So the meal goes on. You share a few more stories, and eventually the king claps his hands again. He goes, "Shall we have dessert?"
Says dessert?
Of course. And even at this point, you hear the queen kind of giggle from beside him. And goes, "Of course, there's dessert."
I don't want to
Has anyone commented on the fact that Brick hasn't eaten or drank a thing?
No.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
No. There's a lot to kind of focus on between the 5 of you. So, as he claps his hands, the servants begin to appear again from the sides, and you would see. Simi, you made a 16, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So one other thing you would have noticed with that, as you've been, especially since you've said that you've been kind of super paranoid about it, you've noticed that each of the members of the royal family, except maybe Grant, anytime someone comes to serve them, it's never one of the headless servants. It seems to always be the same person each time.
Mm-hmm.
So as the desserts are being brought out, you're kind of reconfirming this theory. And then you hear a hitched breath and a gasp, and then a clatter as one of the blonde servant girls walking to the table collapses onto the ground and begins convulsing, shaking, foaming at the mouth. There's a general bit of uproar as everyone turns to look at the commotion that's happening. All the conversations stop and everyone just sort of freezes for a moment, not entirely sure what's happening, what to do.
I want to jump over the table as soon as possible.
That's where we're going to take a break.
Damn you!
We'll be back in just a little bit, top off some drinks, go to the bathroom.
Yep.
We'll be back in just a little bit. Don't go too far. And we are back.
Hello.
So, when we left off just a few minutes ago, as dessert was being brought out, one of the servants collapsed, convulsing on the floor, foaming at the mouth. What are you all doing?
Vanera
I
takes a
told you.
page out of Zaan's book.
Jumps over the table.
No, gets up and rushes over. And
So, just for context, the servant was coming to your side of the table, Vanera. So Zaan jumping over would be coming to your side, and you would be able to come around, kind of back
Yeah.
behind.
you're gonna rush over and cure wounds.
Okay.
While
Zaan,
this is happening, Kazumi is going to try to see if she can get eyes on the servant master that was frowning in the corner earlier.
Okay. So you try to get eyes on Piers.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can find him and what he's doing.
Okay. You see him where he had been before, leaning against the wall, arms folded. He's now bolt upright, arms at his sides, fists clenched, and he is just, you see the intensity of his brow is much more intense. Make a perception check.
Okay. 10.
10. Even with that, at the same time, you begin to notice that the headless servants are all moving in unison.
Towards the servant?
They're all moving in unison towards the royal family and begin, urging people to, move away from them, for the royal family to get behind them, and just sort of, herding people around. Even with that, the king is still kind of, smacking off the hands of one of the headless servants to kind of get a better idea of what's going on as Vanera rushes over. Vanera, as you get there, you have to slap away one of the other female servants that's kind of wailing, just kind of wordlessly crying out in panic as you come, and you're like, get the fuck off, and cast Cure Wounds. Brick, you were raising your hand?
Brick is ready to cast his hollow armor on anyone threatened at a moment's notice. He's just hyper aware, ready to just get someone extra protection if he sees any threats.
Okay.
I'm just gonna guard Vanera while she's doing her thing.
Is the other servant woman kind of hovering still, just wailing?
It's full tears, snot, and everything.
You are being absolutely no help right now. Go get a basin of water and a towel and get back here.
She kind of like locks up for a second, looks at you, looks up at the king, and is like, "Well, go on." It's like you heard her. Go.
Was any of the food placed on the table at this point in time?
Like
from the dessert?
No.
Okay, it hadn't made it. Okay.
No. Like literally everyone was coming out almost at the same time when this girl collapsed.
Okay.
I'm sorry that you can't eat your dessert, Kasumi. Gosh.
No, that wasn't my mindset.
Let them eat a cake.
So you cast Cure Wounds, and the girl begins to stop convulsing. She kind of calms down a little bit. You see her body begin to fully relax. Her eyes are still rolling a little bit. She is definitely out of it. And her breathing is shorter and sharper. Kind of like that panicked adrenaline kind of anxiety breathing. But whatever was affecting her seems to, at the very least, have been minimized at this point. And it's around this time that you hear metal footsteps. Lots of them. They come rushing in, go straight past where the half-orc is standing, and they begin to cordon off everyone. The Baroness is off by herself. The male glens are kind of put by themselves and guarded. All of you have about 10 guards nearby, not really forcing you anywhere, but kind of like herding you together. And of course, the royal family has, at this point, just gone, except for the king. The king is still there. The others have been shepherded off and sent to safety. The admiral, along with the wharf master, are standing by, looking and talking with what looks like some of the higher ups of the guards that came rushing in. And Vanera, you are pleasantly left alone since you seem to be helping well at this point. What is everyone else doing as this is all happening?
I'm guarding Vanera.
Right. I just making sure that nothing else was
I'm looking. I know this is probably going to be a long shot with all the guards in here now. I'm seeing if I can notice anyone that was sitting at the table earlier, if they're missing.
Make a perception check.
While she's doing that, I'm going to look at Otis. I don't suppose you have Detect Magic or Identify ready today?
As you kind of get his attention, you also notice that the guards aren't bothering with him. He's actually standing with like 1 foot on the chair that he'd been sitting on, and he's tall. Like, he was tall to begin with, but now he's like stretching up. He is fucking tall. And as you kind of like ask him this, the head swivels around, and like you had seen before when he was fucking with your mind, his eyes have completely dilated. They are pure black and looks like there's stars within there. And he just kind of looks at you and goes, "You think I am not already doing it?" And he just begins to turn his head around further throughout the room. So Kasumi, what was your roll?
7.
A 7. You get glimpses of people here and there. You see a little bit of the green tiefling baroness. You see the arrogant human male. The I for some reason I wanted to call him Lord Farquaad, Lord Farsworth.
Basically, yes.
You see the Huxleys are being escorted out via their guards. Yeah. So even and the wharf master and the admiral are still standing by. Looks like they're talking to someone. You see, it's actually a Goliath. He has taken his helmet off and he's conversing and kind of pointing. And you see the two of them also kind of like looks like they're trying to recreate what had happened.
While this is going on, and I'm
turn up just a little bit.
Sorry, she's now stabilized for the most part, right?
She seems to be stabilized, yes.
While I wait for the other servant to come back, is Cup of Captions catching anything?
Make a perception check.
Yeesh.
8. This is the first time you've ever put it on. You're not super familiar with it. You are seeing a lot of text come across your screen. You swear that you catch a snippet of Lord and Lady Maelglen saying, it kind of irks you a little bit, but they're kind of saying, like, you catch the drift of it, like, super quick as it goes by, like, thankfully that wasn't us. You see snippets of the Goliath, the Admiral, and the Dwarf are definitely discussing what had happened up until that point, what's happening now, what are the next steps, like what do we need to do, where's the family, general sort of like crisis control sort of deal. You don't really hear anything from the Baroness or the other human behind you. They seem to just be standing there.
Okay.
Or anything from Otis either. He seems to be just high alert, scanning the room, doing... You will occasionally see him kind of like move his fingers and seems to be casting some other sort of spell as he's just...
Yeah, I didn't expect anything like this. Okay.
Brick's gonna kind of approach the circle of guards around them, kind of hands up and just motion towards where Vanera is next to the girl.
They've kind of given you, like, all of you a big bubble. So you're all on that kind of side of the table. So if the guards are like on the table making a big circle, all 5 of you, Otis, and the girl are within that general circle. Except for Pez. Pez is just kind of chilling on the other side of the table, just kind of still looking confused and just kind of eating shit still.
I'm going to approach where she fell and look for whatever she was holding at the time, with the plate, the whatever silverware or whatever she was holding.
There is a platter that is upside down and kind of raised up with whatever was on it underneath it.
Okay. He's gonna take out one of his tinker tools and kind of just like flip the plate over to see what's underneath and just kind of investigate it at just kind of like an eyes over it real quick.
You're not terribly familiar with the culinary arts, not the intricacies of it, but even you are aware that this is some sort of a cake wedge that had icing on it. But
well, he's looking at the plate.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Because you saw as everyone was walking in, it was platters with the dishes, but as she fell, it flipped over and kind of smushed. So you've got the platter, plate, the eating utensil, and the icing cake just kind of underneath it all, kind of smeared onto the floor at this point, just from the angle that it landed and kind of slid.
It's not just over a single tear.
And nothing has any like ruins carved into the plate or the silverware.
It's It's a gorgeous looking plate and platter. I mean, definitely royalty paid for this, but nothing really arcane.
Okay.
Did you cast Identify?
I haven't yet. My thought was like maybe it was a enchantment that went off too early. So I am gonna. So looking at Otis, I kind of like nod my head to the plate. Anything?
As you speak to him, the head very unnervingly just like 180 degrees around, looking between his shoulder blades, and he kind of gives a sense nothing that was not in here before.
So not an enchantment that went off too early.
No spells, so far as I can sense, have been cast in here this night, except for yours. And he kind of turns his head further to look at Vanera.
I mean, could have just had a seizure.
Well, keyword being not in here, could have been cast before she entered.
Or she could have eaten something.
Is she up?
The girl?
Yeah.
She is very much out of it. Like she's okay. She seems to be stabilized, but she's passed out.
Hmm.
On her cheek, just really lightly. Like, I mean, she just had a traumatic experience.
Yeah.
I don't want her to have like a concussion from falling. She needs to stay awake.
You you do this a little bit, and you kind of hear like a weak little sort of moan, and from like directly above from you, you hear the king go, "Would you please stop slapping Honora?"
I'm not slapping her. She needs to wake up though.
Sumi's gonna run up next to you, Vanera. She's gonna get down on her knees by the girl. And she's like, well, let me try this. And she reaches down, she touches the girl on her arm, and she's gonna cast Identify.
Okay. You cast Identify. Let me make sure that I'm giving you the correct information.
While she's doing this, can I cast Detect Evil and Good?
You can certainly try.
I would like to.
Okay. You cast Identify upon her, but you don't get the sense that there's any spell affecting her.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't get the sense that there are any spells affecting her.
Okay.
And Vanera, you cast Detect Evil and Good.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd that go?
Zaan just
There it
lights
is.
up bright ass fucking red, being evil as shit. What?
Zeke, stupid question. Tieflings would technically show up with evil and good because of what they are, wouldn't they? Or no?
They are. I would say you probably get a light glint off of them because they are partially infernal.
That's kind of what I was trying to figure out. So yeah, you kind of get similar sort of vibes from the Baroness and Zaan. Sort of. But it's like, it's that faint sort of like, yeah, it's Zaan, whatever.
It's just a blip.
Yeah.
It's not what I'm looking for, though.
After Kasumi gets the response from her spell, she looks at you, Vanera, and it wasn't magic or a spell. Have you ever seen someone respond like this physically? Do you know what can cause this?
Yeah. Do I know what could cause this?
I just said it like 3 times.
What?
I'm asking Vanera! Gosh! She's the doctor.
It's Dr. Vanera to you, ma'am.
It's about this time that as Kasumi's asking this, you're just kind of like, you see her
Stop.
eyes like.
I don't continue to do it.
Okay. Then she doesn't wake up then.
Whoosh!
Eventually, her eyes do flutter open, and you hear a sharp intake of breath and coughing as the kind of foam and spittle that had kind of pooled in her mouth got into her, went down the wrong tube kind of thing. She sort of sits up and starts coughing and kind of retching, and just looks a real mess.
Does anything come up?
No.
That she had ingested something.
Nothing comes up. It's that coughing that you get when you're taking a drink and someone like surprises you and it goes down the wrong tube. It's that like whatever in my lungs needs to get out. That sucks.
Ray,
She eat something.
are you awake now?
Kind of hear the wheezing, and she's kind of, yes, what happened?
What do you remember?
I was coming to serve dessert, and then nothing.
What about before dessert?
She seems hesitant to say.
You collapse because of something. Do not make this worse than what it already looks like.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh, don't let me do that.
Kasumi is like very blatantly like leaning in, big eyes, just like
24.
4.
I'm proficient in persuasion.
She kind of looks at you and then looks at Kasumi. He's just kind of like beside her.
My guard dog. Guard box.
You see her face kind of like embarrassingly starts to turn, that embarrassed kind of flush. She goes, tasted the princess's icing.
Where did someone pass you her platter?
We got them from the cook, as we always do. I wasn't handed one.
How did you pick yours?
Grabbed it from the line.
How did you know it was the princess's, though?
Well, and you hear from behind you, the king speaks up. Because she is the one who serves my daughter.
Kasumi stands up.
Daddy's angry.
Kasumi stands up and walks over to our Owlin friend. And she's like, the kitchen needs to be checked immediately. I think there was something in the dessert.
And the icing.
As you say that, his head, like, whips back around to look at you. And, like, before he's even able to say anything, the king hears you relaying this as well. And just one snap of his fingers, the guards that have been surrounding you look like they're running just at a brick wall. And they just pass through it.
That brick wants to do that.
No, I think Zaan wants to do it as redemption from campaign 1.
Yes.
Brick is actually like eyeing the cake and like, I could always taste test it. My unique makeup makes me somewhat resistant to poisons.
The king
might
is
give us some
already,
insight.
The king is already following after the guards into the kitchen itself, and he vanishes through the wall. Otis even kind of looks at you and
follow him.
Like, I would not recommend that. Your friend is capable. And you were like, who was umming?
Oh, I think everyone was umming my
I know.
Brick's bad idea.
Oh, is that what it was?
We
Okay.
should probably make sure the king doesn't absolutely destroy the kitchen.
Let's see.
I know
I'm
he
already
has
following.
Otis, but
It's about this time that the Admiral walks past you. Where he had looked a bit tipsy before, it's that, like, it's work mode, and he just, like, sobered up, and he kind of grins at you and goes, it's his castle. And he walks on through the wall.
I'm gonna follow.
Just Brick, what are the rest of you doing?
I already told you.
Zaan's with him.
Yes, literally.
Yeah, no,
said
I know,
was the
but
first one
there's
forward.
still 2 more of you.
I'm staying with Vanera while she's talking to the girl.
Okay. There are still a few guards that are in there. The wharf master is starting to help direct with the Goliath, like what's to happen next. You can see, actually, you two make a perception check.
perception.
17.
Non-natural 20.
God damn it, Kayla!
I'm sorry.
As the guards are escorting out the last couple stragglers, the wharf master, Lord Farnsworth, and the Baroness, you see the Baroness glance backwards, has a bit of a frown on her face before she's escorted out.
Did you see that? She's gonna ask Kasumi.
Did I see it, or is it just Vanera? That's all.
No, you both rolled it high enough
Okay.
to see the kind of
Yes,
look.
I did.
She was disappointed.
Probably because she didn't get what she wanted to have happen.
Can't let her get away.
Who all is around us again? So I know we've got a couple guards. Is it just the 3 of us, or
It's
Do we
4
have-
or 5 more guards. Otis is
Do
still
we have
there.
Pez?
oh, Otis?
Pez
Pez.
is literally still sitting at the table, just
Otis. The Baroness was disappointed.
well, I would assume so. She is famous for loving her cake.
Mm.
No.
Are
this
we
wasn't-
sure it's cake?
That murder.
You see him take his foot off the chair, hands kind of go behind his back, and he looks at both of you. Be very careful who you accuse. You have proof, or just feelings?
Got a nasty look. It wasn't at cake.
He kind of glances over his shoulder at the Goliath guard, who is kind of keeping an eye on you. But he steps closer, leans down. The Baroness is a nasty woman. She does not like anyone. Do not take it to heart if she gave you a bad look.
What should she gain? I'll let him
Oh, how did Wharf Master put it? Yeah. And he kind of looks around, notices the Wharf Master is gone, and he's kind of like, I do not wish to say is rude word.
What could she gain from harming a princess, though?
He kind of tilts his head curiously at you. Nothing.
Are you sure about that?
She has no claim to the throne.
There's
Maybe
something
it-
else going on.
For all we know, it could have been all of us that were targeted tonight.
There were many dignitaries here, including... He kind of sweeps a feathered hand at the two of you. Local growing legends.
Offer her the piece of cake. She didn't know that it was poisoned, or could have been. She didn't know that it was that particular icing.
You wish to offer,
Offer
her
her
the
that
cake
piece
from
of
the
cake.
floor?
It doesn't hurt.
I do not believe Baroness Lorella Quint will deign to eat from the floor.
Floor cake.
Then bring her a new slice, because she loves cake. Why would she deny a new slice of cake if there wasn't something potentially wrong with it? You say she likes cake. So give her some cake.
You see Otis kind of staring at you for a minute, takes in a deep breath, sighs. Make a persuasion check. Will her luck run
18.
out? Damn it! He sighs heavily. You give him a look of, come on.
Please,
do it.
Otis.
And he stands up, glances around, goes, assistants. And just, Vanera, you just have that moment of like, oh God, as one of the headless servants is just beside you. He goes, bring the Baroness a piece of cake, please. You do know how she loves them. No response, but it kind of turns, walks towards the table where a platter had been set down hastily, picks it up, walks out the front with it.
I can only imagine what's going to happen if she actually eats it. And
I
there's
mean-
nobody else there.
And she croaks.
Here, we're not necessarily accusing her, but in a situation like this, we can't help but find reasons to rule people out. And when people act suspicious, I feel like they just need to be investigated just a little bit.
He's standing there, not looking at either of you. He's watching the servant with the cake. And eventually kind of leans over and says, how are you going to observe if you stand here talking to me?
Are we allowed to leave?
I am not stopping you. I am watching the cake as it leaves the room. The headless servant gets to the door.
She's gonna get up and go.
Okay, so while that is happening, we're gonna go chat with the boys in the kitchen. Where they belong.
Boys!
Whoa!
As he is walking, he catches up with Zaan and then kind of pauses. Zaan gets ahead of him again, and he catches back up, and you see him rifling through his tinker's tool pouch. DM, is there anything in there that sort of resembles the shape of a pipe?
In the kitchen?
No, in his tinker tool pouch.
Oh, no, the tinker's tools are usually just tools to tinker with, so...
No, I meant, like, is there, like, anything like an Allen wrench that, like, is vaguely pipe-shaped?
You could probably bend one of your little screwdrivers if you wanted to, snap the handle off, and you're pretty strong.
Yeah, I'd do that. I kind of make, like, a smoking pipe shape
I
out
know
of
it's
it.
coming.
Okay.
God damn it.
Go ahead.
You're doing this before you get through the doorway, or...?
Like, as I'm catching up, I'm doing this.
Okay. So you see the guards going in front of you, very like platform 9 3/4 style. The king saunters on through very confidently. The admiral follows suit, coming in right behind Zaan, who's just like, magic wall, and dashes into the kitchen. And then you pass on through. As you both pass through, where the room before had been kind of cool and very pleasant, in here it's hot. And you're able to immediately see why. There are at least 4 or 5 open flames against one of the back walls where there's grills. There seems to be a place where like a door can be shut to bake breads and such. It is a very lively, active kitchen. Or it would be if there weren't guards posted at every single doorway. And you see the 2 remaining servants, the actual physical servants, and you see a dragonborn. Let me grab his picture so that you can see. He has yellowish orange scales, has a faded blue top on, leather belt, has very interesting spiky horns, very, very jagged kind of looking. Got a bit of heft to him. He's definitely no slouch or stranger to hard labor. But he is the one that is currently being brought to the forefront. So, you two, what are you doing? And Brick, what the fuck are you doing?
I'm patiently waiting and just kind of looking around.
I'm waiting to see what the king says first.
Same.
Okay.
Since he went in way before us. Or not way, but, before us.
So, the king comes in, and he's quiet for a bit, and he's looking at the 3 of them. He finally folds his arms across his chest. So, it would seem that something happened to Honora. Why would that be? And you see that the male servant is standing there just looking bewildered and terrified. The other female that was there before that Vanera shooed off to get water, she's got the things that Vanera had asked for, but was stopped when the guards started charging through. And you can see she's tear-streaked and just looks a sobbing mess. And the Dragonborn cook is kind of standing there looking just as confused as everyone else. Oh, I don't know, sire. Maybe she had an allergic reaction to something. Did she eat anything while she was out? Kind of looks at him. As foolish as she is, I do not believe she would do something as silly as that. Not during an event such as this, and he notices you two coming in. With our guests. So, I will ask again, what happened in here?
Any?
The
Did
three
you
of
guys see
them-
anyone?
The three of them don't.
We
seem
both
to be-
heard her confession, correct? And then heard both the
Honora?
king and the chef. Yeah, and then heard both the king and the chef be like, "No, she wouldn't eat off of the royal platters."
The king definitely heard it, and that's why she was kind of blushing with embarrassment before.
But he just implied that she wouldn't be foolish enough to do that.
That is what he said.
Okay. Just checking.
Mhm.
Just making sure I have my facts.
Yep. So, nothing? No, go ahead.
As long as they are not opposed to it, Your Majesty, I can actually make them tell us if they are willing.
Kind of looks towards you and kind of squints a bit. Part of me wishes for you to stay out of my affairs, but at the same time, you have piqued my curiosity. What would be your methods, Sir Zaan?
Zaan's gonna walk forward. So you said it was the cook, the lady who was sobbing uncontrollably, and then one other?
One other of the male servants, yeah.
If you three would be willing to take a command without resisting, then you could clear your names quite easily.
Keep in mind, command is a singular word.
Yeah. Confess. The TM's like, shit!
Oh no, it's Zone of Truth.
No, that's
Vanera's sitting over there holding Zone of Truth.
Yeah, that's what I thought Zon had.
Let me take a look at
Switch,
this real quick.
switch.
I know the DM's gonna pull something out of his pocket to make this not work, but I'm gonna try it anyways.
Huh.
I'm gonna laugh if they confess to not brushing their teeth that morning.
Yeah, that's literally what I'm expecting him to do. We'll see.
I didn't wash my hands.
I'm sorry, I spit in the soup.
Okay. As you give this as an option, the three of them look a little concerned, and even the cook says, "Your Highness, who is this? I'm not particularly comfortable with some random person saying they can cast spells on me." This is Zaan, part of the Tempests. Go on, give it a go. He sort of
It's
steps
just-
back. And you see them all kind of looking real nervous, like, the fuck, man? But
The spell is harmless unless you have done something that is not, well, that is not good. But if you resist, I'll know. And I would not suggest that. Zaan's gonna cast command at, I think it's 3rd level I need to cast it on all three of them. Yes, so he's gonna cast command at 3rd level on them and confess.
okay.
So they need to, unless, I don't know if they just immediately fail, if they want to do it willingly or not.
Okay. As you cast the command confess, You get 3 answers simultaneously.
Damn.
You hear the male say, I didn't change my drawers this morning.
Yeah, I kind of figured this is where this was going.
The woman says, I used the princess's mascara. And you hear the cook say, I stole a muffin this morning.
Well, 1 second.
You see as the woman says this, she just drops the pan and just kind of like, oh!
So
it clatters, water goes everywhere, and you see the king just kind of go.
So I do want to point out, this does last 1 round, which means it lasts a minute. So technically they confess for a minute each.
I'm not going to come up with a minute-long speech from each of them of all their misdeeds.
Okay, so that was the answer that I needed to hear to not worry about it anymore.
Okay.
Well, I don't think that anyone here might be guilty of anything other than using someone else's mascara.
Well, you see the man looks very fucking embarrassed as he very busily starts trying to clean up the mess of the woman who dropped the water, and even the cook is just like kind of like doing the head and the hand thing. It's like, Your Highness, please, can we not? I mean, look what he did to her. King just kind of looks at them all and goes, all we are aware of is that Nora appears to have been poisoned right after exiting your kitchen, Daigle. I believe that's what his name is. Yes, Daigle. So.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Which princess was the cake going to again?
You have no idea.
Okay.
So.
Your Grace.
Yes.
May I approach?
Kind of waves you forward.
I walk over and I whisper in his ear, which princess was the cake going to specifically?
He kind of raises an eyebrow and goes, Enna. Lenora always tends to Enna.
Despite the fact that we have yet to confirm whether or not that was the only cake that was poisoned, this seems rather close to their wedding day. Is there any person that might have been jealous or let down about the wedding on either side, whether in favor of Enna or the Admiral?
You ask interesting questions, and I will look into it. However, you have given me an excellent idea. Sir Brick, your friend, Vanera, yes? She saved Denora. Very little trouble. She seemed to do it with ease, yes?
That seems to be the case as of right now, yes.
Excellent. All 3 of you. Eat the cake. You see the 3
Brick immediately. I was like, I'll go get Vanera. And I sprint down. And I assume go outside and Vanera's nowhere to be seen.
You just see her leaving.
Vanera, actually, real quick, for flavor, have you completely left the room to watch Vanera, or are you kind of like Scooby-Dooing it in the doorway?
Scooby doing it. Couple
Okay,
captions.
so you see
going.
Vanera's ass.
Vanera, I need you.
Just
people might die.
Big text appears on your face. Vanera, I need you.
Just go grab.
People might die. I poke my head back in. What's happening with the cake?
She's gonna turn back around, just stare.
Okay, so we'll circle back to you in just a second. So, Brick, as you look back in, the servants have each gotten a slice of the cake, and they stick a fork in and they eat it, kind of like looking like really panicky about it. Both of you make a perception check. Brick, you at disadvantage because you're kind of like half in, half out, kind of shifting your focus.
Okay. It was 1 point off. So 14. Perception? Yeah.
Yeah, so 14 for Brick. Zaan? Sorry, you would do a normal perception roll. Sorry.
No, I didn't know I was supposed to roll. I thought you were talking to Vanera.
No, we're back in the kitchen.
Perception +9, dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Whereas the servants look kind of panicky, the cook doesn't seem concerned. They all take a bite of the cake, and they wait a little bit, and they wait. They're all kind of watching.
Best case, I can cast Spaz the Dying on them.
And nothing happens. Vanera, you watch as the servant comes out with the cake, and where you'd seen the Baroness seemed very just disinterested in the whole affair, the cake comes to her, and you actually see a little bit of a grin as she takes it, starts to eat.
Still not just her.
It's because she's green, isn't it?
Yes.
Racist.
Yes.
Wait, oh no, they're not.
A minute passes. 2 minutes. Neither the Baroness nor the servants have anything happen to them.
That's interesting. Who would have messed with Anna's cakes then?
She's gonna march back over to the servant that is on the floor,
Sitting up at this point, just...
sitting up.
Yep.
Zone of truth.
Whomp.
Did you just get one of those?
Let me see... Zone of truth.
Lasts for 10 minutes, so if y'all want to utilize it.
I don't even know you're using it.
I mean, I'm assuming since I'm in and
Yes,
out of both rooms,
you
I
probably
see it.
would see it.
Failed the fuck out of that. Mostly because it says I must make the saving throw. I didn't have a choice. So, you cast the Zone of Truth around the servant girl. What do you ask?
Where did you get the cake?
From the kitchen. She points behind
Who
where the
gave
wall.
you the cake?
No one did. It was on the counter as all the food is.
How did you know to grab that specific one for the princess?
Honestly, I don't know. We always kind of grab from the same location. It just habitual.
And is there something in the kitchen that separates who goes where?
Us.
Or who to who? Yeah,
No.
but who? Like, there's got to be preferences somewhere. Like, you grab from a certain one because that's the princess's.
We grab what we know they like. If the cook makes... she kind of thinks about it for a minute, kind of trying to gather her thoughts, and it's just like, she can't stop herself from talking either. The princess prefers chicken over the steak of the prince, so I grabbed the chicken and... oh god, I forgot his name. Give me just a moment.
Owen?
Nope. Well, yes, for him, but 2 seconds. But Cassian grabs the meals for the prince.
Why did you taste the icing?
You see her face flush red, and you can see her trying to stop but can't. I just wanted to taste the icing. It looks so good.
Damn. Foodies.
Am I hearing all of this?
Make a perception check, because you're kind of doing the half in, half out. You're watching them do their thing, and you're also trying to be like, "What the fuck are you, Vanera?"
19.
You hear...
I can roll at a disadvantage if you want.
You
Since we
hear
rolled disadvantage for the last one.
snippets of it. You hear
Okay.
Vanera asking these questions, and you see her coney thingy, and you hear the part about her tasting the icing from the cake. But, Vanera.
Okay.
Assuming, do you have any questions?
Was there anyone else in the kitchen that's not normally in there today?
No, we've had the same staff for... And it's not like she's trying to fight it. It looks like she's really trying to think of the right amount of time. For years, decades, it's been all of us.
Who made the icing?
The chef, of course. He makes everything.
Has anyone that you work with ever said anything that they don't like about the princess?
No, she's lovely. Both of them are.
Otis, do you have any questions?
Oh.
He's kind of looking down at you and seems genuinely impressed. I do not. However, there may be some... And he kind of looks towards the wall. Who would benefit?
Is he looking towards where I am?
Yes.
Yeah, I just nod at him and stick my head back in. Your Grace, if you would like to continue...
Yes, Brick. What?
One of my companions has set up a zone of truth if you would like to ask any more questions with a little bit more of assurance.
Sorry, I was so tempted to be like, yes, what? I'm trying to see if my servants die. But I had to resist because that's not what the king would do. He goes, interesting. He kind of like looks between you and Zaan and goes, seems quite lucky that you lot were here. So, you are not dead. And he looks between the three servants and follow me. And he marches out of the kitchen. You two of you hear shing as they are escorted out.
I kind of look at Vanera. You might want to move her out of the circle. We have more incoming.
No, she can stay. She can answer the questions too.
Okay. And I get out of the way.
It's a big cone. It's like a
can
15-foot cone. Or sphere, sorry. Sphere. 15-foot sphere.
The cone of shame.
For whatever reason, I was thinking of Steve Carell's thing, the spy movie where he's in the cone of silence and it fails. For whatever reason, that's what I was thinking of.
She's pacing. She's stressed. She's just gonna get up and just like...
So the three of them are marched out, and they're escorted at sword point and spear point into the zone of truth. And okay, they all step inside. They all just stand there expectantly.
Who made the icing?
The chef raises the Dragonborn chef raises his hands. That would be me.
What was added?
You want my frosting recipe? It's vanilla, sour cream, sugar.
Oh, that sounds so good.
It does sound really good. I fucking love sour cream frosting.
I lean over to Vanera. Is he affected or not? Because if I remember correctly, you should be
What
able
is
to
the
tell.
king's name?
King Damien. Shut up, Zach. Fuck you. King Damien Harpermere. You hear the other two say the same thing, just a little bit quieter.
Does anyone else got any goddamn questions? I can't be the only one that wants to ask them something.
I'm asking you if it's working because you should be able to know. The spell lets you know.
Is it blipping for me, DM? Am I getting blips? Sorry.
Could you not get angry at me when I'm taking a fucking drink?
I'm not angry. I want to know if my
You are getting no blips.
As in, like...
So far as you are aware, they are all answering truthfully.
Okay. I looked up the
Answer.
spell.
Ask! Whatever you want to ask, Brick.
Is there anyone
She's stressed
here?
at this point.
So everyone
I
up here likes the princess. Does anybody here not like the princess?
All 4 of them in unison. No. We love the royal
Alright,
family. Like, weirdly in unison.
Alright, I'm just gonna come out and say, did anyone poison the cake?
You hear a resounding chorus of no's.
I mean, to be fair, if you really think about the situation here, one of them grabbed a piece of cake that was poisoned, and if it was completely by randoms, that just means one person here would have been poisoned. Doesn't
Vanera.
matter who.
Was the cake ever left
Hold on.
out of everyone's view?
Hold on. Vanera. When they all answered with no, you get a blip.
Fucking tell me!
Make an investigation check.
Oh no, it's so bad.
You asked them all in unison.
I didn't ask them.
It was
did.
asked. You did not.
Fucking 20.
Months of planning out the window. No, just kidding. No, I was fully expecting this.
Zone of truth. Yeah.
You get a blip from the Dragonborn.
So you gotta stomp up there and push them all out except for him.
So weirdly enough, I kind of need you to turn up just a smidgen. You've gotten quiet somehow.
Hello. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
could. Let's
I'm
do
gonna
this.
stomp into that circle and push the fuck out of the other ones. Gently, of course. I'm gonna...
Stiff arm them.
I was gonna say, please tell me one servant gets a hand to the face and just. You stomp
You!
right up to the Dragonborn and kind of like shrinks back. Like, what?
You lied.
Kind of shifty eyed. No. You get a
Just
blip.
gonna look at him.
You get
I
another.
mean, the
blip.
no.
Do I look like I'm gonna take your bullshit? I can tell when you lie in this circle. Just a fucking vine of the kid and the girl that walks up and he's like, Daddy, and she's like, do I look?
You
Where's
hear
the king?
you hear another sword being drawn. And now it's the king pointing his sword. And Vanera, as you're glaring up at him, you just see this little metal bit come into your view and get like right underneath his chin. He goes,
What did you put in the cake icing?
"You will answer her questions, Daigle." You kind of see him kind of like work his jaw around. It was poisoned.
By who?
Me.
Why?
You see him kind of like working around a bit more. They have my family.
Who has your family?
He kind of looks at you and goes, "I can't say."
Well, you're gonna tell me right now.
You don't get a blip when he says that.
Kasumi,
Mhm.
do you have another identify on you, or should I take 10 minutes?
Oh, I can use identify, and it's instant for me.
Please do. On him.
Okay. And Kasumi just waddles up there. Excuse me, King, and she just touches the dude on his shoulder and casts identify.
You don't get any. Well, you do get actually a really big fucking blip on him.
Right.
Zone of truth.
Zone of truth.
Yeah. Which
But
So-
nothing outside the zone of truth?
Not that she's
Okay.
able to tell.
Okay. Well, it's not magic that's keeping you from telling us. So,
It's because
What is
I
it?
don't know.
Then how do you even know?
Who
they have
gave
your
you the
family?
poison?
I don't know.
Then where did you come to get it? Did it just appear?
Told me to meet them outside the city. And you see him, he's kind of like keeping his jaw from moving as much as possible because there's a fucking sword in his soft palate. He had me meet outside the city. He gave it to me. My family had been missing. He gave me my daughter's doll.
how did he originally contact you?
Where's the poison vial?
He like slowly lifts a hand and like points back towards the kitchen with the vial question. The message came in the post as everything else does.
Do you still have that letter?
No.
Oh, that doesn't really help your case now, does it?
No, it does not. And he holds up his hand and you see that there are burn marks on his fingers.
What does that mean?
Got done reading it and it burnt in my hand.
You said you
Notice.
met someone outside.
I did.
I'm guessing cloaked or shadowed, invisible, maybe.
No, they had, and he looks like really concerned, like choosing his words carefully, like if he slips up, kind of bad things will happen. Their face was
Hope
muddled.
so.
I just opened my eyes to see Vanera.
I fucking hope so.
Face was-
Let's go.
Some sort
Like-
of spell. Couldn't see the features.
Smoky, almost.
Honestly, I'm not sure. I'm not much into magic.
So, if you did what they said to do, would they give you your family back immediately?
He looks at the king, looking like really genuinely apologetic, and he goes, "That's what they say."
So, Your Majesty, what if we were to falsify information for a brief amount of time?
Well, that would be well and good. I do believe the Maelglins have left. The Baroness has left. Lord Farnsworth is likely not here either. He's a bit of a coward.
I kind of got that, to be honest.
Well, regardless, and Kasumi looks back at the Dragonborn. You're not in a very good position right now. And at this point in time, the best thing for you to do is to comply and help us find out who hired you, or aka blackmailed you to do this, to even have an inkling of potentially repairing the damage that you've already done.
Or saving your family.
That's also, important too.
Vanera,
Yeah.
you said the poison was given to you by the person, correct?
For Kuzco.
Poison for Kuzco. Kuzco's poison.
It is not the title of the episode.
Cusco's poison.
Kuzco's poison.
Right.
Right.
Anna's
the poison.
poison.
Cusco.
The special poison
Poison,
for
poison.
Anna.
Not poison. Oh, yes, ma. Sorry.
As you threaten him, Kasumi, he kind of turns, looks at the king, and sort of starts to lean into the blade.
I palm to the chest, push him right back. No.
You'll have to kill me. I can't risk
Not
my
while
family.
you're useful.
Who's to say they won't just kill your family regardless?
I have an idea.
It's a chance I'm willing
And
to
if-
take.
if you're really gung-ho about killing yourself, let me at least confirm they're dead. I might have a way to find out.
You see his face working through emotions that he really doesn't want to feel or think about.
Vanera, if you had the poison bottle that was given to him by the person, would that make it easier to try to scry on someone?
Potentially.
Worth a shot.
Good.
Your Grace, if he could escort us to the poison bottle.
Or he could tell us, I kind of like where he is right now.
Where's the poison bottle?
Threw it away.
You are just...
People will do
Otis?
strange things for their family.
So if you did what they said, where were they going to meet you to give you your family back?
To be honest, I don't know. The letter said that they would contact me after it was done.
So
Did you make the icing today?
I?
You throw it away today?
I? No.
Was the trash taken out?
Was the trash taken out?
You see him kind of shrug his shoulders.
Could someone please go check?
Zaan will go.
Well, you
Because
see,
I'm
you
pretty
see
sure-
the king sitting there for a second, and he kind of looks at the two servants who are just totally aghast by this, and goes, "Go." They kind of
Zaan's gonna go with him.
"Oh, yes, Your Highness," and they both get up and just haul ass out to start looking for it. And Zaan, you're going with them.
Yes.
Make I'll say with advantage because you have two people helping you. While that is
Me?
yes.
I don't need to. Locate object. Bitches!
Well, you need to know what it looks like. You don't know what it looks like.
Describe a neighbor an object. I could just say poison vial.
If you say vial, that whole place is gonna light up.
We're looking through the garbage. How many people just throw a vial in garbage? I at least have something to start with. And I can use investigation as well.
But if there's no more poison in it, would it classify as a poison vial?
It'd just be a vial. Fuck you. I'm gonna roll investigation anyway. Jesus Christ. Investigation.
I see
Plus
Vanera
one.
working through some stuff here.
16.
16.
Oh wait, you said advantage? Hold on. I literally rolled the exact same fucking thing. 16. Fuck.
So between you and the servants lead you to where the trash bins are. Are you actually casting locate object?
Yeah, sure. Just
Okay.
say for flavor because it'll help.
You have one of those moments like, Jesus fuck, as you see just cabinets of vials and vials and vials. But that's not where you're looking. You're looking
Yes.
where the servants are looking, which are in trash bins. You do see a few, just kind of here and there in various bins.
I want to grab them all. Fuck it.
Okay. So you grab all the vials, and you see that there are some there written in common on it with various spice names. One is a larger one that says vanilla, kind of cumin and pepper on another. None of them just openly say poison.
Duh.
I'm gonna bring them back.
Unlabeled.
And while I'm doing that, I'm gonna sniff them because I know what human smells like. I know what vanilla smells like. I want to find one that smells like poison.
They all smell exactly as you would expect them to.
And I got every single one of them.
Everyone that was in the rubbish, yes.
So wait, vanilla's used in the icing. What other ones were there? Cumin, vanilla.
pepper.
3? So I found 3 vials.
3 vials.
I'm gonna bring the vanilla one. Vanilla's used in icing.
Okay.
I know this because my mom's a chef!
So You bring the vial of vanilla out. You go, I got vanilla! What are you doing?
Is
I have
Is
all
that-
three, but yeah, I'm gonna say
What's that
vanilla.
is that the vial that with the poison was disguised in?
Are you asking him?
Toward
or-
the Dragonborn, yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, there's a lot of people on the stage here.
No, you're good.
I also forget. Fucking pest. Just move to the next chair. It's just eating whatever leftovers were there. So, sorry, you asked the Dragonborn, was that what the poison was in?
Yeah, was
He doesn't answer.
that sounds about right. Just out of curiosity, is there anything left in the vial?
Make an investigation check. If you...
I'm holding the vial. Can I fucking look?
Investigation? Do I have anything for investigation?
Well, you can make an investigation to look.
Yes, I want to look at the vial.
Dirty 20.
Dirty
He
20.
rolled higher than me, but still.
It seems to be fairly empty.
You said
Not
very
even
well.
like a drop left.
Probably not.
Well, there's a fun things that we can do. Seems to be empty. Poison lingers. Where's the water?
I walk over and get a thing of water and pour a few drops in, or pour a little bit in.
Drink it.
To the chef?
Brick!
Oh, to Brick.
Yeah, I'll swig it back and see if I feel anything.
I need you to roll on the table to see if you like it.
Poison!
Let's see, where's my...
I gotta use this dice, because I think this is the dice that I use.
Oh, God. Just imagine this. It's just like alcohol. It kills him, but he loves it.
It's not good.
It's tolerable. It's a 9.
A 9? Pure vanilla extract is a very weird taste. But
But no weird feeling.
after a moment, I'll count it.
As a note, I do have resistance to poison.
You do. You sit there for a minute, and like literally everyone is looking at you. Even the king, who has a sword to the dude's throat, is just watching, and you kind of go like, ah. 1 point of poison damage.
Yeah. That was a poison.
It's a weird sensation. Like food has never really affected you, and that just something in there really doesn't feel right. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. 30-20. I got 11 plus 9.
You
Ew.
thankfully didn't ingest a whole lot of it. You've kind of gotten good about how you handle liquids in your mouth. Like you don't just let it fall in or anything anymore. So you're able to basically like take a drink of this and then spit it out as you start to feel something funny happening in your system. You're able to keep it from really taking hold on you.
Ooh. I just kind of look at everyone. Ooh, that. I felt something try to happen. That could have been nasty.
Man. Seems we have the vial we need.
Vanera, don't suppose you have scrying ready today.
No, not today.
Well, that'll be a tomorrow problem to see if we can try and find him. If that even helps. In the meantime, we need some other ideas of how to find this guy.
Right around that time, the king looks over at the Goliath guard that had been standing there, calls him over. Captain Brock, see the Daigle is put in the dungeon. Clear him of his possessions. See if you can't send out one of your scouts. Maybe they can find his family nearby. You see the big Goliath, without saying a word, just like big meaty hand thumps his armored chest and just like cat's back of the neck scruff just starts hauling him off.
Might I make one other suggestion? Put him under heavy guard, and they might try to kill him. If you guys don't do it first, but you know.
He kind of stops and looks at you with this kind of bemused expression like, who the fuck are you to tell me how to do? And he just keeps walking. The king kind of looks at the end of his sword where there had been a bit of blood on the tip and kind of flicks it off onto the ground, sheathes it, goes, well, an interesting end to the evening, I would say.
That was much more excitement than I was expecting.
I never hoped for such excitement in my own home, sir.
Agreed.
You have all proven very helpful, and you hear a loud crunch.
As
You all look over at Pez. It's just kind of like, oh, sorry. Puts down the little crunchy thing he was eating, finds something that's softer to munch on. Sorry, Pez, I'm making you look like a fat ass. I just don't know what to do with you, buddy. Your help is much appreciated. Wish that there was something I could do to repay you.
Can I still have a piece of cake?
You know what? Sure.
Yeah, I have been repaid. Sounds good. Can you get a piece of cake? What's fucking cake? Come on!
Yes, Lady
There
Vanera.
is something. After the wedding, we need a ship.
A ship?
Mm-hmm.
What for?
Where are we going?
We need to make our way to high tide.
No.
Thank you.
We have to. What is the pirate island called again?
High tide.
High Tide. We are currently tracking down someone who takes up residence on High Tide.
Kind of sits there and seems to kind of be chewing on his thoughts for a minute. How about the deal? 2 requests from me, the king. The father of the princess that was meant to be poisoned. Stay here in town till the wedding is finished. We'll see about your ship. Secondly, on the off chance that it was not my daughter being targeted, but perhaps it was a random act against the family, dignitaries are coming for the wedding itself. They will be here in a few days. And seeing as how alert and aware and capable the 5 of you are, it would calm my heart greatly if you were to be there. Keep a wary eye out. Make sure nothing untoward comes of our guests that could spark an international incident.
As long as I can have my swords, it sounds like a great idea.
He kind of like half rolls his eyes and grins. You may have your sword.
Yes! Zaan is still eating cake the whole fucking time he's saying this.
Zaan, while you're eating cake, no, you're fine. The cake is fine. It's actually
Bring
really,
it
it's actually really fucking delicious. Like your first bite, it's anime sparkles, shimmering eyes, like oh.
I'm making a cake for our meetup.
Her frosting
If it doesn't-
mwah.
If it doesn't taste as good as this cake, I'm gonna be super sad.
You don't even know what the fuck it tastes like.
Exactly!
Can I request funfetti?
So he looks to you. Attend the meeting of the foreign dignitaries. Make some connections while you're at it. You might like him. To be there for the wedding, keep a sharp eye out. I could... who am I kidding? I'm the king. Of course I can say that you can have your weapons at the wedding. Help keep my family safe. And then we will see about getting you a ship. So long as the wharf master isn't too ornery about it. And he kind of looks towards the door where he had left before. But do we have a deal?
After having this cake, I don't think I can ever leave. I have to have more.
I believe it is in everyone's interest that we say yes. So, yes. I do have one question.
Of course. Speak your mind,
Your
Brick.
would your Archmage happen to have the capability of transport between kingdoms, teleportation-wise?
The king kind of looks at you and looks over your shoulder. Well,
I forgot he was there. I turn
your son
around.
slowly turns around, and you can still see he's fully dilated, like little like galaxy stars floating in his eyes. And he goes, "I do. It is not an easy spell, but maybe."
Well, I must confess, in the interest of being able to provide the protection that you want to my utmost ability, I am experiencing infrequent malfunctions. My creator currently resides in Adsland, and I would...
Kind of pops his head back and tilts it a little bit. As you're... Keep going.
And unless you might be able to find the cause, I would probably require a visit to him to make sure I am not, I don't know, dying.
He kind of tilts his head side to side. I could send you. It is a risk. Have not been to Aslan before, but I know of it. You wish to go yourself?
It would be something to discuss with my group, but I was just confirming that it was even a possibility first.
Getting you there is problematic. Getting you back,
I have that covered, and I'll slip a ring off my finger and kind of...
You see, it would almost seem impossible for his eyes to get wider, but they get wider, and he kind of like really zones in on the ring.
Takes 10 days to recharge, but rather useful.
Interesting indeed. Well, if this concludes our evening, Vanera,
Yes?
if you would be so kind, and you see him, it's been a while, but you see him like finally like blink his eyes as he kind of bows towards you.
They do blink.
If you they do blink in herds. If tomorrow does not see your schedule filled, you may come see me in my tower.
Oh, I'm free.
And he kind of looks back at you, Brick. And do let me know. As the king has said, you are requested for the dignitaries. And he kind of leans back and thinks for a moment. Sire, within 3-4 days. He goes, have to check with the Chamberlain, but I do believe that is the scheduled arrival. Yes. Kind of looks back at you, Brick. I can send you on the morrow. I do not have the spell prepared today. But if you wish to travel, I can send you. And as many as you wish to go with you.
We shall discuss it tonight, and hopefully I'll have an answer by the morning.
But how do we get in contact with you? Just go to the tower?
The tower will be fine. And kind of looks back at Vanera. She knows how.
Sansu put his hand on his hip. I am disappointed in myself. I thought she was pure.
Tempest?
Don't worry about it.
Your Highness. He bows really deeply to the king, and then he turns and just plap, 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 plap on out.
Oh, I was about to be like,
It's inside jackass.
Doors. Boom.
Just turns around. You did not see that.
King Damien watches as Otis leaves and kind of rubs the bridge of his nose. What's an evening? Well, seems we all have things to do. Is there anything else I can that I can aid you with before retiring?
Don's just gonna reach over the table and take another piece of cake.
He's not even looking at you in Pez anymore.
I just kind of look at Kasumi and Vanera.
I'm glad we were here.
I as well. Good evening, good night, good luck. I will send word once we are certain when the emissaries will arrive, but we may not hear until the day before. So do be prepared, please.
Sounds good to us.
Kind of gives you all a nod, turns to leave and double takes at Pez and Zaan and just sort of eye rolls. Walks towards the end of the hall, goes on through a door. So, you are left alone in the grand hall. There's still a few guards milling about, just kind of keeping an eye on you. None of them have their weapons drawn. They seem in a relaxed stance, but they are watching. What are you all doing?
Eating cake.
I turn to look at the rest of them. You don't think this could have been him?
Who is him?
What, the king?
No, the smoke guy.
Oh, him.
That is always a possibility. And I technically could maybe ask. I really don't want to, but I technically could.
You could what?
I could ask.
Oh, ask. Sorry.
A few of you could ask.
May I have the vial, please?
I hand it over.
Wait, how can a
Just gonna-
few of us ask?
Give me pockets.
You took the vial, just corked it and pocketed it?
Yeah, well, she was looking because she couldn't remember if she had pockets or not.
You didn't ask for pockets in this dress.
I could have sworn that he said that there were pockets in it.
I do remember
That
this
sounds
coming up.
really familiar, actually. Yep.
I do remember this coming
Yep.
up.
You have pockets.
Okay.
Pay attention to your child.
Well, let us head back, get a good night's sleep, and discuss our options in the morning.
That poor cat.
Chicken.
So, you all heading back to the wagon for the evening?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This cake.
As you all pass through the doors to the Great Hall, you cross through the throne room. Those that have been milling about, the Maelglins, the Baroness, the other Lord, they've all gone. The throne room is essentially empty apart from the guards that are stationed around it. No one stops you as you walk out. As you get outside the front door, there's another sense of like, oh, Jesus Christ, as Ulrich is standing there. And he's looking specifically at you, Vanera, and he gives you a deep bow.
Oh.
Thank you for saving me, granddaughter.
Damn, I did not see that coming.
Have a wonderful evening. And he stands back up and sort of like very elegantly motions for you to pass on through the courtyard.
Gonna give him a little curtsy.
Okay, so you all head back to your wagon for the evening. Is there anything you wish to do before going to bed?
I want to give Magnus.
Pez is walking around like he's got a fucking food baby.
Someone please help me get out of this dress.
I can help.
Okay.
So nothing else for the evening?
Nine.
Okay. Then that is where we're going to end for tonight. With the mystery of what happened to Apollo, left alone in the
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
He's got 2 weeks to plan.
I have 2 weeks to come up with shenaniganry of Apollo in the thing. So thank you all so much for joining us tonight. It was a bit of a long one, but that was fun. We will be back actually tomorrow for Metal's second one-shot as the Pirate Suave. I believe we're starting that 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern. So if you're interested, come back for that. I don't know how long that's going to go. It's going to have a whole slew of other people that don't normally play with us, so it should be interesting. We will also be back next Friday for Zeke's campaign, Campaign 3. And
Race fights giants!
And for this one, we'll be back in 2 weeks on the following Friday. So yeah, any other follow or closing remarks, comments, announcements?
We good, bro. We good.
Nope. Cool. If you haven't already, join the Discord, links down below. We're always looking for more people to play games with, chat with about D&D and all sorts of other games. And who knows, if you hang around enough, maybe you'll get to be in a one-shot or part of a future campaign. You never know. So, with that being said, have a great weekend. Hope to see you tomorrow as we go through another one-shot in the world of Archeron. And, yeah, we'll see you then. Good night, everybody!
Bye.